A sudden crack of thunder tears across the sky. Not the natural kind, but something heavier, divine. Dark clouds swirl violently above a quiet stretch of forest on Earth. Birds scatter in panic as the air itself seems to split apart. A bolt of blinding lightning strikes the ground, carving a crater into the earth. From the center of the impact, a tall figure rises slowly, electricity dancing across his armor. Thor Odinson stands once again, gripping Mjolnir tightly. He looks around, confused. The air feels different. The sky is familiar yet foreign. The wind carries an energy he has never sensed before, raw, wild, and overflowing. Thor closes his eyes briefly, reaching out with his divine senses. Nothing. No Asgard. No Bifrost. No familiar realms. Only an overwhelming presence of power scattered across the planet, like countless stars burning beneath the surface. Thor exhales slowly. By Odin's beard, this realm is alive with strength, he murmurs. Not magic, not sorcery, but something else. He steps forward, and each footstep heavy, the ground subtly cracking beneath his boots. As Thor exits the forest, he sees a city in the distance. Towering buildings, flying vehicles, and strange technology buzzing through the air. West City. Before he can move closer, a loud mechanical whirring echoes from behind him. A small hovercraft descends clumsily, crashing into a nearby clearing. The hatch opens, and several armed figures jump out. Pilaf's henchmen, scanning the area wildly. "There! That's him!" one of them shouts, pointing at Thor. "The energy spike came from that guy." Thor turns slowly, unimpressed. Another henchman raises a blaster. "Hey! You! Hands up! You're trespassing in Emperor Pilaf's—" The sentence never finishes. Thor flicks his wrist, and Mjolnir flies forward like a comet. The hammer slams into the hovercraft, crushing it instantly before curving back into Thor's hand. The shockwave sends the henchman flying into trees like leaves in a storm. Thor sighs. "Your threats lack conviction," he says calmly. Moments later, silence returns to the forest. Far away, atop a distant mountain, a man pauses mid-training. Goku. He straightens up, eyes widening. Whoa. The wind around him shifts as an unseen pressure washes over the landscape. His smile slowly spreads, not fear, not concern, but excitement. That power, it's huge. But it feels different, Goku says, scratching his head. It's not Ki, but it's super strong. Without hesitation, he launches into the sky. Nearby, Vegeta crosses his arms, scowling as he feels it too. Ch! Another freak with godlike energy, he mutters. This planet is becoming a magnet for monsters. Back in West City, civilians begin to panic as thunderclouds gather unnaturally above the outskirts. News reports flash across screens. Breaking news. An unknown entity has been detected just outside West City. Authorities advise citizens to remain calm. Thor walks into the city streets, drawing stares immediately. People freeze. A towering warrior clad in golden armor, red cape flowing, lightning crackling faintly around him. He looks like something straight out of myth. A truck skids out of control nearby, its brakes failing. The driver screams as the vehicle tips toward a crowd. In an instant, Thor moves. He catches the truck with one hand, muscles straining slightly, then gently lowers it back onto the road. The crowd stares in stunned silence. Thor offers a polite nod. "Fear not. No harm shall come to you." Whispers ripple through the crowd. Is he a superhero? No. He looks like a god. Did you see that strength? Thor feels it again, that strange energy pulsing from the planet itself. Stronger now, closer. Suddenly, the sky splits as a figure drops down in front of him, landing lightly on the pavement. Goku. They lock eyes. Thor immediately senses it. This man is not a mere mortal. His body radiates battle-hardened power, controlled yet limitless. Goku grins widely. "Hi, I'm Goku," he says cheerfully. "You're really strong. Are you from space?" Thor raises an eyebrow, intrigued rather than threatened. "I am Thor, son of Odin, Prince of Asgard," he replies proudly. "And you, warrior, you carry the strength of legends." Goku laughs. "Ha ha ha, thanks. You feel kind of like a god, but not the same as Beerus." Thor pauses. "Beerus?" Before either can say more, a distant shockwave ripples through the atmosphere, an echo of something darker taking notice. High above, far beyond the planet, a familiar tyrant smiles. "So, a god has entered my universe," Frieza says softly. "How delightful." Back on Earth, Thor grips Mjolnir tighter. Whatever this world is, whatever power it hides, Thor knows one thing for certain. This realm is no ordinary battlefield. And destiny has already noticed his arrival. Thor's grip tightens around Mjolnir as he studies the warrior standing before him. The man's posture is relaxed, almost casual. But the power coiled within him is undeniable. It reminds Thor of seasoned Asgardian generals, veterans of 1,000 wars, yet there's no arrogance here. Only curiosity and excitement. "You sense it too, don't you?" Thor says, his voice low. "This world trembles with power." Goku nods enthusiastically. "Yeah, it's awesome. But you're different. Your energy feels heavy, like thunder." Thor allows himself a faint smile. "That would be my doing." The clouds above respond, rumbling softly. Civilians nearby retreat nervously as the air grows charged. Windows rattle. Streetlights flicker. Goku glances around. Maybe we should move somewhere else before things break." Thor nods in agreement. A wise suggestion. Without warning, Goku shoots straight up into the sky, stopping mid-air and waving. "Come on, follow me!" Thor spins Mjolnir once, summoning a burst of lightning beneath his feet. He launches upward, cape snapping violently as thunder echoes across the city. The two streak across the sky, one leaving trails of blue lightning, the other cutting the air with sheer speed. They land far outside the city, in an open, rocky plain surrounded by mountains. The land here is already scarred from countless past battles, as if it was shaped for conflict. Goku lands lightly, hands on his hips. "Okay, so, are you strong, or really strong?" Thor chuckles. "I have felled giants the size of mountains, shattered worlds in battle, and faced gods who sought to end all realms." Goku's eyes sparkle. "Awesome." The excitement in Goku's voice makes Thor pause. There is no fear here. No doubt. Only eagerness. Before Thor can react, Goku vanishes. A split second later, a powerful punch slams into Thor's side, sending him skidding across the ground. The earth cracks beneath him as he digs his boots in, stopping himself. Thor laughs, a booming, genuine laugh. "Yes," he roars. "At last, a warrior who does not hesitate." He hurls Mjolnir with terrifying speed. Goku barely dodges, the hammer smashing into a cliff behind him, obliterating it entirely. Dust and debris explode into the air. Goku reappears above Thor, bringing his fist down. Thor raises his arm, lightning surging, and blocks. The impact sends a shockwave rippling across the plains, flattening rocks for miles. Far away, Vegeta watches from a mountain ridge, eyes narrowed. "He blocked that?" Vegeta mutters. "Interesting." Back on the battlefield, Thor counters with a thunderous swing. Goku flips backward, landing effortlessly. "Whoa, you hit like Beerus." Goku laughs, powering up slightly. His aura flares, golden energy rising like fire. Thor feels it instantly. This is Kai. It presses against his divine senses like a storm of pure willpower. Thor's eyes widen, not in fear, but awe. "So this is the source of your strength," Thor said. "Not magic, but spirit made manifest." Goku nods. "Yep. Kai comes from inside. Want to try feeling it?" Thor closes his eyes. Lightning gathers around him. But this time, something else joins it. The ground beneath his feet hums faintly as Thor reaches inward. Not to the sky, but to himself. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, the lightning changes. It becomes denser, sharper, infused with an unfamiliar intensity. The air vibrates violently. Vegeta's eyes widen slightly. He's adapting. Thor opens his eyes, surprised by his own power. "Remarkable," he murmurs. "This energy, it answers conviction." Goku beams. "See? You're getting it already." Suddenly, a chilling pressure sweeps across the planet. Goku's smile fades. Thor feels it too, cold, cruel, and calculating. High above the atmosphere, a sleek ship drifts silently. Inside, Frieza gazes at a glowing energy reading, tail swaying slowly. "A god and a Saiyan playing together," Frieza says softly. How nostalgic. How irritating. Back on Earth, the sky darkens unnaturally. Thunder rolls again, not Thor's this time. Vegeta appears on the battlefield in a flash, arms crossed. "Kakarot," he says sharply. "Step back." Goku turns. "Huh? Vegeta, did you feel that too?" Vegeta doesn't answer. His eyes are locked on Thor. "So, you're the new god," Vegeta says. "Let me guess. You think you're the strongest?" Thor meets Vegeta's glare without flinching. "I think only that strength must be proven." Vegeta smirks. "Good." He explodes forward, faster than Goku's earlier strike. Thor barely raises Mjolnir in time as Vegeta's fist slams into it, sending lightning scattering in every direction. The collision creates a massive crater. Thor slides back, boots grinding against stone. Vegeta lands, breathing steadily. "You're tough," Vegeta admits reluctantly. Thor straightens, eyes burning with excitement. "And you," he replies, "are no ordinary prince." Goku looks between them, grinning nervously. Maybe let's not destroy the planet just yet?" Before either can continue, a distant laugh echoes through the sky, cold and mocking. Thor looks up. "So," he says grimly, "it seems this world's enemies have taken notice." Goku clenches his fists, smiling once more. But this time it's serious. "Yeah," he says. "Looks like your arrival woke up something bad." Thunder rumbles. Lightning flashes. And somewhere in the universe, a tyrant prepares to make his move. The mocking laughter fades, but its presence lingers like poison in the air. The wind grows still. Even the clouds hesitate. Thor slowly lowers Mjolnir, his gaze fixed on the sky. He has heard such laughter before. Tyrants who believe themselves untouchable. Rulers who mistake fear for loyalty. "This presence," Thor says, voice grim. "It reeks of conquest." Vegeta clenches his fists. That's Frieza. And if he's paying attention, things are about to get ugly. Goku nods, his playful tone gone. "Yeah, he's bad news." Thor turns to them both. "Then tell me of him." They move to a nearby plateau overlooking the battlefield. The sun begins to dip, painting the sky orange and purple. Despite the calm scenery, tension coils between the warriors. Vegeta speaks first, arms crossed tightly. "Frieza is a tyrant. He conquered planets for sport. Destroyed entire races without hesitation." Thor's jaw tightens. "Say beings exist in every realm," he says quietly. "And they always believe themselves gods." Goku continues. "He's really strong, like universe-level strong. But we've beaten him before." Thor looks at Goku sharply. Before? Goku scratches his head. Well, a few times. Vegeta scoffs. Don't make it sound easy, Kakarot. As they speak, Thor senses something unsettling. Not Frieza, but the planet itself reacting. The ground pulses faintly. Life forms across the world seem to hold their breath. This world has endured much battle, Thor observes. Yet it still stands. Vegeta smirks faintly. Earth stubborn. A sudden flash interrupts them. A spherical craft descends nearby, landing smoothly. The door opens, and out steps Bulma, holding a device that beeps rapidly. Goku! Vegeta! She shouts. Do you guys have any idea what kind of energy spike you caused? She stops abruptly when she sees Thor. Her eyes widen. Okay, she says slowly. That's new. Thor bows slightly, polite and regal. Greetings, Lady of Science. Bulma blinks. He talks like a Shakespearean cosplayer. Goku laughs. Bulma, this is Thor. He's from another universe. Bulma's jaw drops. Another what? Thor steps forward. Your instruments detect my presence, do they not? Bulma glances at her scanner. The numbers are off the charts, far beyond even what she's recorded for gods like Beerus. You're not just from another universe, she mutters. You're built differently. Thor looks intrigued. Your intellect rivals the scholars of Asgard. Bulma smiles proudly. I know. Before the moment can settle, the sky darkens again, this time violently. A pressure slams down on the group, forcing even Goku to brace himself. Vegeta growls. He's testing us. High above, Frieza's ship shifts position. Energy readings spike. Let them feel me, Frieza says calmly. Fear softens prey. Thor steps forward, lightning crackling instinctively. The air around him thickens as thunderclouds gather unnaturally fast. Thor says firmly, he will not rule this sky. The clouds erupt. Lightning forks across the heavens, colliding with Frieza's distant energy wave. The pressure lessens, pushed back. For the first time, Frieza's smile fades slightly. Oh, he murmured. How curious. Back on Earth, the group exhales collectively. Bulma stares at Thor. You just pushed him back. Thor doesn't smile. Only for now. Night falls. They regroup at Capsule Corp, where Thor observes the city from a balcony. Neon lights glow below, flying cars zipping through the air like fireflies. This world blends battle and peace seamlessly, Thor says. In Asgard, such harmony is rare. Goku leans against the railing. We just fight so we can protect days like this. Thor nods slowly. He understands. Suddenly, Whis appears behind them, staff tapping lightly against the ground. Oh my, Whis says cheerfully. This is unexpected. Goku turns. Hi, Whis. Vegeta stiffens. You felt him too, didn't you? Whis studies Thor with keen interest, eyes sparkling. A god, but not of this cosmology. Fascinating. Thor meets Whis' gaze. For the first time since arriving, Thor feels truly seen. You are no mere attendant, Thor says carefully. Whis smiles. Very perceptive. A moment later, Beerus appears, yawning. So, this is the Thunder guy? Beerus says lazily. He smells like responsibility. Thor straightens immediately. The pressure Beerus emits is overwhelming, far beyond Frieza. A god of destruction, Thor realizes. Beerus narrows his eyes. You're sharp. I like that. The two gods stare each other down. Lightning and divine energy subtly clash, causing the ground to vibrate. Goku nervously laughs. Let's not blow up Earth? Beerus smirks. Relax. If I wanted it gone, it would already be dust. Thor's grip tightens, but he does not attack. He senses Beerus is not an enemy. Not yet. This claps his hands. Well, since a new god has entered the playground, it would be wise for everyone to train. Thor turns. Train? Wuz nods. To understand each other's limits. Vegeta smirks. Finally, Beerus stretches. If you bore me, I'll destroy something. If you impress me, maybe I won't. Thor smiles, a warrior's smile. Then let us see whose thunder shakes the heavens. High above, Frieza watches the gods gather. So the stage is set, he whispers. How wonderful. The night sky flashes with distant lightning as destiny tightens its grip. The god of thunder has not merely arrived in this universe. He has become part of its war. The night deepens over West City, but sleep does not come easily. The sky remains restless, clouds drifting unnaturally fast, as if the world itself senses an approaching storm. Thor stands alone atop a high plateau outside the city, overlooking the quiet glow of Earth below. He rests Mjolnir against the ground, lightning faintly pulsing along its runes. For the first time since his arrival, he allows himself to reflect. This realm, Thor murmurs, it is fragile, yet unyielding. In Asgard, strength is inherited, forged by blood and legacy. Here, strength is earned, shaped through endless struggle. Warriors push past death itself, rising stronger each time. Thor finds the concept both inspiring and dangerous. A soft rush of air signals another presence. Goku lands beside him, his head. Couldn't sleep either? Thor shakes his head slightly. My mind is restless. I sense many paths converging, and many ending in ruin. Goku looks out at the city. Yeah, that's kind of how it always is, but we usually figure it out. Thor studies Goku closely. The unshakable optimism, the absence of fear. This Saiyan does not fight for glory nor conquest, but for the joy of challenge and the protection of others. You carry no crown, Thor said, yet your spirit rivals kings. Goku grins. Thanks. You talk, but I like you. Suddenly, the air tightens. Vegeta appears, arms crossed, eyes sharp. Kakarot, Beerus wants us ready by morning. Thor turns. Ready? For what? Vegeta smirks. Testing. Goku's eyes light up instantly. Training? Awesome! Thor senses it now, the shift in fate. This is no longer mere coincidence. The gods of this universe are watching, measuring him. Vegeta steps closer to Thor. Listen carefully. Beerus doesn't train people unless he's curious or bored. Either way, if you embarrass yourself, you die. Thor meets Vegeta's stare without hesitation. I have faced gods who devour worlds. I will not falter. Vegeta's smirk fades, replaced by grudging respect. Good. High above Earth, Frieza's ship drifts silently. Inside, Frieza watches multiple feeds. Thor's lightning, Beerus's aura, Goku's ki. So many gods gathered in one place, Frieza muses. How careless. He turns to one of his subordinates. Prepare the fleet, not to attack. Not yet. Yes, Lord Frieza. I want to see how they break each other first. Back on Earth, dawn begins to creep across the horizon. The sky glows faintly pink, though thunder still rolls in the distance. Thor closes his eyes, feeling the planet awaken. He feels farmers rise, children laugh, warriors stretch their muscles. This world is alive in a way few realms are. Wiz appears nearby, staff tapping gently. You are adapting remarkably well. Thor inclines his head. Your universe challenges the spirit as much as the body. Wiz smiles. That is why it survives. They begin to move, Goku, Vegeta, Thor, toward a remote training zone far from civilization. The land here is barren, scarred by ancient battles. Mountains rise like broken teeth. The air hums with residual energy. Beerus floats lazily above the ground, yawning. All right, Thunder God. Let's see what you can really do. Thor steps forward, planting Mjolnir firmly into the earth. The clouds overhead respond instantly, swirling violently. I do not seek dominance, Thor says. Only understanding. Beerus chuckles. That'll change. The ground trembles. Thor lifts Mjolnir, lightning surging brighter than before. Not wild, not chaotic, but controlled. The energy bends inward, compressing. Goku watches in awe. Whoa! He's not just calling lightning. He's focusing it. Vegeta narrows his eyes. Like Ki. Thor exhales, feeling the storm settle within him. For the first time, he is not merely wielding power, he is shaping it. Beerus' expression sharpens. Oh, he says. Interesting. The pressure between them escalates rapidly. Rocks lift from the ground, floating weightlessly. The sky darkens despite the rising sun. Whis raises a finger. Careful. Let's not destroy the planet on the first day. Beerus clicks his tongue. Fine. But don't disappoint me. Thor relaxes slightly, lightning fading to a steady glow. Then test me, he says. Beerus grins. Far away, Frieza watches the energy spike reach unprecedented levels. So, Frieza whispers, the god learns. He leans back in his chair, amused. Good. That will make killing him much more satisfying. Back on the training ground, the wind stills. Goku stretches excitedly. Vegeta cracks his knuckles. Thor stands tall, cape flowing, eyes burning with anticipation. The Thunder God has found a world that does not fear gods, a world that challenges him. As the first clash of divine power looms just beyond the horizon, one truth becomes clear. Thor has not merely entered the Dragon Ball universe. He has stepped into a crucible, one that will either elevate him or tear the heavens apart. The training ground trembles long before the first blow is struck. Dust lifts from the cracked earth as invisible pressure builds between the warriors. The sky above churns violently, clouds circling as if trapped in an unseen vortex. Lightning flickers within them, not wild, but restrained, responding to Thor's will. Beerus floats lazily above the ground, arms folded, tail swaying. His eyes narrow slightly, not in concern, but interest. So, Beerus says, show me how a god from another universe fights. Thor steps forward, planting his feet firmly on the stone. He rolls his shoulders once, armor humming faintly as lightning crawls across its surface. I fight to protect, Thor replies, but I do not shy from proving my strength. Beerus smirks. Good, because mercy won't help you here. Without warning, Beerus vanishes. The air implodes. Thor's instincts scream. He twists, raising Mjolnir, just as Beerus reappears inches from his face, finger extended. The impact is instantaneous. A concentrated blast of destruction energy slams into the hammer. The explosion tears through the plateau. Thor is launched backward, smashing through layers of rock, before skidding to a stop in a smoking trench. The shockwave ripples outward, flattening distant mountains like sandcastles. Goku's jaw drops. Whoa! Vegeta grins fiercely. That's Beerus. Thor pushes himself up slowly, cape torn, armor cracked, but his eyes blaze with excitement. So, Thor says, rolling his neck, this is the power of destruction. Lightning surges violently around him as he raises Mjolnir skyward. Thunder crashes instantly, answering the call. Beerus watches, amused. Careful. If you break the planet, Whis will scold me. Whis smiles serenely. Oh, I already am. Thor hurls Mjolnir. The hammer spins faster than sound, wrapped in spiraling lightning. Beerus flicks his wrist, deflecting it effortlessly, but the moment his finger makes contact, The lightning explodes outward, chaining across the sky like a divine net. Beerus' eyes widen just slightly. The lightning detonates, engulfing the battlefield in blinding white light. When the dust clears, Beerus stands unharmed, but his feet have dug several inches into the ground. He mutters. Not bad. Thor calls Mjolnir back, catching it midair. The ground beneath him cracks as he channels more power, not recklessly, but deliberately, compressing lightning inward like Kai. Vegeta notices immediately. He's learning. Beerus lunges again, this time faster. Thor meets him, head on. Fist meets hammer. The collision releases a thunderclap so loud, it distorts the atmosphere. Shock waves ripple outward in perfect rings, carving trenches into the landscape. Thor grunts as Beerus' strength pushes him back. Beerus presses forward, smiling. Your power is impressive, Beerus says, but control decides gods. Thor digs in, muscles straining. Lightning flashes, not outward, but inward, tightening, focusing. Suddenly, Beerus' smile fades. Thor shoves forward, forcing Beerus back a step. Goku's eyes light up. He pushed him! Vegeta clenches his fists. Damn Thunder God! Beerus leaps backward, floating again. He laughs softly. All right, enough warm-up. The pressure spikes. Beerus raises one finger. A small purple sphere forms, quiet, contained, terrifying. Erase, Beerus says casually. Thor reacts instantly, slamming Mjolnir into the ground. Lightning erupts in all directions, forming a massive barrier. The destruction sphere collides with it, and the world screams. The barrier fractures, lightning shattering like glass. Thor is forced to one knee, teeth clenched, but the sphere dissipates before reaching him. Silence follows. Beerus lowers his hand. You survived. Congratulations. Thor rises slowly, breathing heavily. I will not fall, he says firmly. Not while this world stands. Beerus studies him for a long moment. Then he turns away. Good enough, Beerus says. For now. Goku rushes forward instantly. My turn! My turn! Thor turns, surprised. You wish to face me? Goku nods eagerly. Yeah, I want to see how thunder works against Ki. Vegeta scoffs. Idiot! Goku powers up, golden aura flaring, and he enters Super Saiyan. The ground hums beneath him. Thor feels it. The difference between divine power and mortal will sharpened into a weapon. Come, Thor says, smiling. Goku vanishes. Thor barely tracks him. Speed far beyond most Asgardian foes. A punch slams into Thor's ribs, followed by a rapid barrage. Thor blocks some, absorbs others, sliding backward with each impact. He's fast! Thor laughs. Excellent. Thor swings Mjolnir in a wide arc, releasing a thunder wave. Goku flips over it, firing a quick ki blast, mid-air. The blast hits Thor square in the chest, sending him skidding back. Thor exhales, surprised. So this is Ki, he says. Pure intent made force. Lightning surges again, but this time it flows differently. Thor shapes it, condensing it around Mjolnir, then he charges. Thor closes the distance instantly, far faster than before. Goku's eyes widen. Whoa! They clash mid-air, hammer and fist colliding again and again. Thunder and ki intertwine, lighting the sky in gold and blue. Vegeta watches silently. He's adapting mid-fight, Vegeta mutters. That monster. The two warriors separate, hovering above the battlefield. Goku pants, smiling. You're awesome. Can you go stronger? Thor's eyes glow brighter. Yes, he replies calmly. But so can you. The air tightens once more. Training has only just begun. The air between Thor and Goku vibrates as both hover in place, their energies pressing against one another like colliding storms. Gold and blue light twist together, briefly forming spirals before tearing apart again. Goku cracks his knuckles mid-air, grinning wider. Okay, you're really strong. Let's turn it up a bit. His aura flares brighter, sharper. The ground below fractures further as his power climbs. Thor's grip tightens around Mjolnir. He feels it. The shift. Goku is no longer holding back. "Then I shall answer in kind," Thor said. Lightning surges outward, but this time it doesn't explode randomly. It wraps tightly around Thor's body, coursing along his arms and shoulders like living veins of energy. The thunder above deepens, no longer chaotic but resonant, as if responding to a rhythm. Which watches intently. Fascinating. He's synchronizing external energy with internal focus. Beerus glances sideways. He learns faster than I expected. Goku vanishes. Thor reacts instantly, spinning and swinging Mjolnir behind him. Goku reappears just in time to block with both forearms. The impact sends him hurtling backward, skipping through the air like a stone across water before he regains control. Goku laughs even as he slides. "Ha ha! That was awesome!" He counters with a rapid-fire volley of ki blasts. Thor raises Mjolnir. Spinning it so fast, it becomes a glowing disc, deflecting the blasts in every direction. Explosions ripple across the distant mountains. Thor lunges forward, closing the distance far faster than before. Goku's eyes widen, not in fear, but surprise. He got faster, Goku thinks. Their fists meet again, this time evenly matched. Each collision sends thunderclaps echoing across the battlefield. Neither gains ground. Then Thor changes tactics. Instead of striking harder, he lets the lightning flow inward again, compressing it until it hums with dangerous density. He thrusts Mjolnir forward and releases it point blank. The lightning erupts like a contained supernova. Goku is blasted backward, crashing into the ground and carving a massive crater. Dust and debris erupt skyward. Vegeta's smirk sharpens. He finally landed a clean hit. Goku pushes himself up, coughing once, then grinning. "Okay, now that woke me up." His aura shifts. The golden glow deepens, edges sharpening as power spikes again. The pressure rolling off him intensifies dramatically. Thor feels it immediately. This is no longer the same level of strength. "So," Thor says, eyes glowing, "this is your true battle spirit." Goku nods. "Pretty much." They launch at each other simultaneously. The clash is violent, far more than before. Each blow carries intent now, not just curiosity. Thunder and ki tear through the air, ripping clouds apart and boiling the atmosphere. Whis raises an eyebrow. They're pushing each other. Beerus clicks his tongue. "Careful. If this keeps escalating, I'll have to step in." Vegeta watches closely, fists clenched. He feels it. That familiar sting of rivalry. Just Kakarot's enjoying this too much. Suddenly, Goku feints left and appears above Thor, driving his knee down. Thor barely blocks, but the force sends him crashing into the ground this time. The earth caves inward, creating a crater even deeper than before. Goku lands lightly, looking down. "You okay?" A moment of silence. Then lightning explodes upward from the crater. Thor rises slowly, eyes blazing brighter than ever. The lightning around him no longer lashes outward. It coils tightly, obedient. "I am more than thunder," Thor says, voice steady. "I am its master." He raises his free hand, not holding Mjolnir. The sky responds instantly. A massive bolt of lightning slams down, not onto Thor, but into the space around him. Instead of exploding, it collapses inward, compressing into his palm like a sphere of living energy. Vegeta's eyes widen. He's shaping it like ki. Thor thrusts his hand forward. The lightning sphere streaks toward Goku, spiraling tightly. Goku barely dodges, the attack tearing through the landscape behind him and obliterating a mountain entirely. Goku whistles. "Whoa, that's new." Thor doesn't pause. He appears in front of Goku in a flash, faster than before, and slams Mjolnir into his guard. Goku is driven straight into the ground again, this time deeper. The battlefield falls silent. Dust settles slowly. Vegeta steps forward instinctively. Kakarot! Goku's voice cuts through the silence, laughing. Man, this is fun! He explodes upward, aura flaring violently as he bursts from the crater. His power surges again, pushing the air outward in a massive shock wave. Thor braces himself, boots sliding. Beerus' eyes sharpen. He's about to cross a line, which nods. Indeed. Goku steadies himself mid-air, expression focused but joyful. Okay, Thor. Last round before Beerus yells at us. Thor smiles, a fierce, battle-hardened smile. Then let us see, whose will endures? Vegeta suddenly appears between them, aura flaring sharply. That's enough, Vegeta snaps. My turn. Goku blinks. Huh? Vegeta turns to Thor, eyes burning. You adapt fast. I want to see if you can keep up with me. Thor inclines his head respectfully. I welcome the challenge. Beerus grins. Now this is getting interesting. The air tightens again as Vegeta powers up, his energy sharp and aggressive, cutting through the atmosphere like a blade. Thor feels it instantly. This Saiyan's power is different, not playful, not curious, relentless. The clash and training are far from over. They're only escalating. Vegeta's aura erupts outward in sharp, jagged waves, tearing through the air like blades. The ground beneath him fractures in straight lines, unable to withstand the sheer aggression of his power. Unlike Goku's fluid, playful energy, Vegeta's ki is heavy, compressed with pride, rage, and relentless discipline. Thor feels it immediately. This power does not invite challenge. It demands dominance. So, Vegeta says coldly, hovering inches above the ground, you learn by watching Kakarot. Let's see if you can survive pressure. Thor spins Mjolnir once, lightning snapping tightly around its head. I have faced kings who ruled by fear, he replies. You fight with fury, but also with purpose. Vegeta scowls. Save the speeches. He vanishes. The shockwave arrives before the impact. Vegeta slams into Thor with a knee to the chest, driving him backward through the air. Before Thor can recover, Vegeta appears again, hammering a fist into Thor's jaw. The blow sends Thor crashing into the side of a mountain, shattering it completely. Rubble rains down across the battlefield. Goku winces. Ooh, that one hurt. Thor pushes himself free from the debris, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Instead of anger, his eyes burn with sharpened focus. Your strikes carry intent, Thor. Each blow is deliberate. Vegeta reappears instantly, fist cocked. And they'll stay that way until you break. Their fists collide midair. This time, the impact is brutal. Raw force meeting raw will. Lightning and ki explode outward in jagged arcs, ripping through the clouds above. The sky fractures, light pouring through the cracks like a shattered dome. Thor blocks, counters, swings Mjolnir with crushing force. Vegeta weaves through the strikes, landing precise blows to Thor's ribs, shoulders, and side. Every hit is calculated, stripping away balance, testing endurance. Vegeta drives an elbow into Thor's chest and follows with a point-blank ki blast. Thor barely raises Mjolnir in time. The explosion sends him plummeting downward, slamming into the ground hard enough to form a crater hundreds of meters wide. Vegeta descends slowly, arms crossed, aura flaring. Get up, he commands. If this is all a god can do, you're wasting my time. Silence. Then thunder. The ground within the crater begins to glow faintly. Lightning pulses beneath the surface, traveling along fault lines like veins of fire. Thor rises. Not explosively, not angrily. Steadily. Lightning coils tightly around his body, not lashing outward but folding inward, reinforcing muscle, bone, and will. His breathing slows. His stance shifts, lower, grounded, deliberate, which leans forward slightly. Ah, he's stabilizing. Beerus smirks. Finally stop showing off. Thor looks at Vegeta not as an opponent to overpower, but as a force to withstand. In my realm, Thor says, voice calm yet resonant, I learned that strength without control shatters itself. Vegeta snarls and attacks again. This time Thor does not retreat. Vegeta's fist slams into Thor's guard and stops. The ground buckles beneath both of them as Thor absorbs the blow fully, lightning flaring inward instead of outward. Thor counters instantly, swinging Mjolnir upward into Vegeta's midsection. Vegeta grunts, skidding backward through the air before regaining control. Goku's eyes widen. He tanked that! Vegeta's expression darkens. So you're learning to endure. He powers up further. The air screams. Vegeta's aura intensifies dramatically, pressure rolling outward in crushing waves. Rocks lift from the ground and disintegrate mid-air. The sky darkens unnaturally, as if rejecting the power being unleashed. Thor feels the weight of it. This Saiyan's pride made manifest. So be it, Thor murmurs. He raises Mjolnir, and then releases it, not throwing it, letting go. The hammer hovers in midair, spinning slowly, lightning orbiting it in tight spirals. Thor spreads his arms slightly, drawing energy inward, not from the sky alone, but from within. Vegeta scoffs. You think standing still will save you? Thor opens his eyes. Watch. Vegeta charges. The moment Vegeta enters striking range, Mjolnir snaps forward on its own, slamming into Vegeta's guard with catastrophic force. The hammer rebounds instantly, striking again from a different angle. Vegeta blocks, but each impact forces him back. It's moving on its own, Goku whispers, which nods approvingly. He's separated will from motion. Excellent. Thor steps forward calmly as Mjolnir continues its assault. With each step, lightning pulses inward, reinforcing his form. Vegeta growls, pushing through the barrage and landing a powerful kick that sends Thor skidding backward. But Thor does not fall. He plants his feet, catching Mjolnir mid-air as it returns to his hand. The two warriors face each other again, both breathing harder now. Vegeta wipes blood from his lip, eyes blazing. You don't fight like a destroyer, Vegeta says. You fight like a shield. Thor nods. And shields endure what blades cannot. Vegeta laughs sharply. Good. He powers up once more, higher than before. Beerus' eyes narrow. That's enough. Vegeta pauses. Beerus floats closer, pressure radiating effortlessly. You've proven your point, and so has he. Vegeta clicks his tongue, but lowers his power slightly. Thor exhales, lightning settling into a steady glow, with smiles warmly. Remarkable progress for a first session. Goku flies over, grinning. You were awesome. Both of you. Thor looks at his hands, feeling the unfamiliar harmony between lightning and inner focus. This power, he says quietly, it grows when met with resistance. Vegeta turns away, smirking faintly. Don't get comfortable. Next time, I won't stop. Thor smiles. I look forward to it. High above the planet, unseen eyes observe. Frieza's smile widens as energy readings spike yet again. Yes, they're sharpening themselves. The training is forging something dangerous, and the storm is far from finished. The battlefield settles into an uneasy calm. Cracked earth steams faintly beneath lingering arcs of lightning. The air still hums with residual ki, as if the land itself is struggling to remember what silence feels like. Thor stands at the center of it all, Mjolnir resting against his shoulder, chest rising slowly as he controls his breath. For the first time since arriving in this universe, his power feels aligned, which floats gently downward, staff tapping once against the ground. That will do for brute 4, he says pleasantly. Now comes the difficult part. Thor turns toward him. There is more? With smiles. There is always more. Beerus reclines midair, arms behind his head. If this turns boring, I'm leaving. Vegeta scoffs quietly, arms crossed. Goku, however, leans forward eagerly. What's next? With gestures toward Thor. Up until now, you've been forcing two systems to cooperate. Divine lightning and internal focus. Effective, yes. Efficient? Not quite. Thor nods slowly. I feel the strain, as though I wield two blades at once. Precisely, which replies. In this universe, power is not summoned. It is allowed. Thor closes his eyes. Lightning flickers instinctively, but then falters. The pressure inside him surges dangerously. Vegeta tenses. He's destabilizing. Relax, Whis says calmly. This is the lesson. Thor exhales and releases his grip. Not on Mjolnir, but on control itself. For a moment, his lightning dims almost entirely. The storm clouds above thin out. Goku frowns. Did he just power down? Then the air tightens sharply. Not violently, not explosively, deliberately. Lightning returns, not as wild arcs, but as fine threads weaving through Thor's form, synchronized perfectly with his breathing. His aura no longer flares outward. It settles. Thor opens his eyes. The pressure he radiates now is quieter but heavier, like the calm before an unavoidable storm. Beerus' eyes narrow. Oh, Whis beams. There it is. Thor takes a step forward. The ground does not crack. It yields. Goku swallows. He feels, scarier. Vegeta clicks his tongue but doesn't disagree. Thor lifts Mjolnir slowly. The hammer hums, not with thunder, but with resonance. When lightning sparks now, it obeys instantly, folding inward, reinforcing instead of destroying. This is balance, Thor says softly. Not command, but harmony. Whis nods approvingly. Well said. Beerus floats down until he's face to face with Thor. The air between them distorts under the weight of their combined presence. You learn fast, Beerus admits. Too fast. Thor meets his gaze steadily. Because his world demands it. Beerus smirks. Careful. That kind of resolve gets noticed. As if on cue, the sky darkens again, but this time, the pressure is not Beerus. It is cold, precise, malicious. Every warrior on the field stiffens simultaneously. Goku's smile vanishes. That's Frieza. Vegeta's fists clench. He's done watching. Far, Frieza stands at the edge of his ship's viewing deck, hands clasped behind his back. Energy readings flood the screens before him. Thor's stabilized lightning signature, burning brighter than before. So the god has learned restraint, Frieza murmurs. How disappointing. He turns to his commander. Yes, Lord Frieza. Back on Earth, Thor feels it now, Frieza's attention locking onto him like a blade. This tyrant, Thor says grimly. He gathers strength. Beerus yawns, though his eyes remain sharp. Good. I was getting bored. Whis tilts his head. You may wish to be careful. This conflict will not remain localized. Thor looks at Goku and Vegeta, warriors forged by endless escalation, unafraid of impossible odds. Then I will not face it alone, Thor says. Goku grins, fire returning to his eyes. Of course not. Vegeta smirks. Wouldn't let you. Lightning rolls softly across the horizon, not threatening, but inevitable. Thor grips Mjolnir and feels it respond not as a weapon, but as an extension of will. The storm within him is no longer chaotic. It is focused. Ready? Whis floats upward again. Training concludes here. Beerus turns away. For now. Thor watches the sky, sensing fleets moving in the dark between stars, sensing battle approaching, not as a possibility, but as certainty. This universe has sharpened, and now it will test him. The clash and training are over. The war is about to begin. The stars above Earth dim, not because night has fallen, but because something vast has moved between the planet and the light. Satellites lose signal. Scouters across the galaxy spike wildly before shattering from overload. In the vacuum of space, a fleet emerges from hyperspace in perfect formation, sleek, merciless, countless. Frieza has arrived. On Earth, the sky fractures with distant flashes as the atmosphere reacts to the approaching armada. Thunder rolls without storm clouds. The planet senses invasion. Thor stands at the edge of the training plateau, eyes fixed on the heavens. The lightning around him stirs instinctively, not violently, but with purpose. "They come," he says. Goku cracks his neck, excitement mixing with seriousness. "Guess training's over." Vegeta's aura flickers briefly. "Finally." Which peers upward, staff glowing faintly. A calculated entrance. He wants to be seen. Beerus yawns, but does not look away. Of course he does. High above the planet, Frieza's flagship glides forward, its shadow stretching across continents. Fighters deploy like insects, forming a net around Earth's orbit. Frieza steps onto the viewing deck, hands folded behind his back, smile serene. "So many warriors," he muses, "and a god who does not belong." He raises one finger. "Begin." The first wave descends. Energy blasts rain down from orbit, scorching the upper atmosphere. Defensive satellites are obliterated instantly. Shock waves ripple through the skies, rattling cities below. Thor raises Mjolnir. "Enough!" He slams the hammer into the ground. Lightning erupts upward, not as a chaotic storm, but as a focused pillar of divine energy. It pierces the clouds, streaking into orbit and detonating among the descending fighters. Ships explode in silent flashes, torn apart by thunder forged beyond physics. Goku laughs sharply. "Nice shot." Vegeta smirks. "Show up." More ships descend, faster this time. "Let's go," Goku says, launching skyward. Vegeta follows instantly, aura blazing. Thor spins Mjolnir once and rises after them, lightning trailing behind him like a comet's tail. They meet the invaders in the upper atmosphere. The battle ignites instantly. Goku weaves through enemy fire, smashing fighters apart with precise strikes. Vegeta tears through formations, obliterating ships with point-blank blasts, his expression cold and ruthless. Thor hurls Mjolnir again and again, each throw guided by will alone. The hammer curves impossibly through space, shattering hulls, returning to his hand between heartbeats. Lightning chains between targets, turning Frieza's fleet into burning wreckage. On Earth, civilians watch the sky light up like a second sun. Frieza watches calmly. "Adaptable," he murmurs, "but predictable." He gestures, and the second wave deploys, elite warriors, faster, stronger, shielded against energy attacks. The pressure spikes. Goku and Vegeta feel it instantly. "These guys are tougher," Goku calls out. Thor senses it too, the difference in discipline, the cruel precision. "They fight as executioners," Thor says grimly. The elite forces engage. One warrior slams into Thor with immense force, sending him tumbling through the air. Thor recovers quickly, catching himself in mid-flight, lightning stabilizing his momentum. Another elite charges Goku, landing a heavy blow that sends him spiraling downward before he recovers. Vegeta snarls, annihilating two elites with a furious barrage. "You'll need more than numbers." Frieza tilts his head, amused. "Very well." He raises both hands. Space itself distorts. A massive energy construct begins forming in orbit, a sphere of condensed destruction energy slowly growing, casting a purple glow over the planet. Beerus' eyes narrow sharply. "That idiot!" Whis frowns. "He's threatening the planet." Thor feels it. The weapon being forged above them, It is not meant to defeat warriors. It is meant to erase worlds. He would sacrifice this realm to make a point, Thor says. Goku clenches his fists. Not happening. Vegeta growls. I'll kill him. Thor raises Mjolnir, lightning flaring brighter than ever, but controlled. Then we stand together. They reposition instantly, Goku and Vegeta flanking, Thor at the center. The air hums as their energies synchronize instinctively, which watches with keen interest. They're forming a tri-axis alignment. Beerus smirks. About time. Frieza watches, smiling wider. Oh, this is getting interesting. The energy sphere above them swells larger, gravity bending around it. Oceans below begin to churn. Tectonic plates strain under the pressure. Thor channels lightning upward, weaving it with ki learned from Goku and Vegeta. The lightning does not disperse, it stabilizes, forming a spiraling conduit. Goku adds his power, aura flaring. Vegeta follows, energy sharp and precise. Three forces intertwine. The sky screams. Frieza's smile falters just slightly. Impossible, he whispers. That guy, he's coordinating them. The combined energy surges upward, slamming into the forming destruction sphere. The impact is catastrophic. Light engulfs the sky. The sphere fractures, then detonates, dispersing harmlessly into space. Silence follows. On Earth, the sky clears. Thor exhales slowly, lightning fading to a steady glow. Goku grins, panting. That was awesome. Vegeta smirks. Don't get cocky. Frieza stares at the ruined projection, eyes narrowing. Very well, he says softly. If gods wish to play heroes. His aura ignites, golden, violent, terrifying. I will descend. The flagship begins its descent toward Earth. Thor tightens his grip on Mjolnir. The tyrant comes, he says. And for the first time since entering this universe, Thor feels the full weight of what he has chosen. Not training, not testing, war. Frieza's flagship pierces the cloud layer like a blade. The pressure hits first. Oceans shudder, mountains creak. Even warriors miles away feel their knees strain as if gravity itself has grown crueler. Thor plants his feet on the plateau, lightning crackling instinctively around his armor. The air tastes sharp, like ozone and malice intertwine. Goku's smile fades into focus. Vegeta's aura flares defensively. The ship halts above them. A beam of violet light descends, and Frieza floats downward at its center. Pristine and composed, tail swaying lazily behind him. He touches the ground without a sound. The ground fractures anyway. So, Frieza says, clasping his hands together, this is the god. Thor steps forward, Mjolnir resting at his side. I am Thor Odinson, he declares, and you threaten a realm under my protection. Frieza's eyes flick to the hammer, then back to Thor's face. How quaint, he replies. A god who speaks of protection. He smiles wider. Let me show you how power truly works. Frieza vanishes. The sonic boom arrives an instant later. Thor barely raises Mjolnir and T.I. Frieza's kick collides with the hammer, detonating the air between them. The shockwave ripples across the plateau, throwing Goku and Vegeta backward despite their guard. Thor slides across the stone, boots carving trenches. Frieza reappears midair, laughing softly. Oh, this will be fun! Thor answers by throwing Mjolnir. The hammer streaks forward, wrapped in lightning, bending its path as Frieza attempts to sidestep. It clips Frieza's shoulder, detonating in a thunderous explosion that rattles the heavens. Frieza spins backward, surprised but unharmed. He looks at the scorched mark on his armor, eyes gleaming. You hit me! Thor calls Mjolnir back, catching it cleanly. You are not invincible. True, Frieza says, but you are far from my equal. He extends one finger. A death beam lances forward. Thor blocks, the beam splintering against Mjolnir's surface. But the force drives him to one knee. The ground beneath him shatters like glass. Goku flashes in, deflecting a second beam with a sharp strike. Hey, pick on someone your own size. Vegeta attacks from the opposite side, unleashing a blistering barrage that forces Frieza to move. Frieza weaves effortlessly between them, deflecting blows, countering with cruel precision. A backhand sends Vegeta crashing through a ridge. A tail strike slams Goku into the ground, carving a crater. Thor surges forward, lightning exploding outward as he swings Mjolnir with both hands. The hammer connects, solidly. Frieza is driven downward, crashing into the plateau. Rock vaporizes. The impact shakes the planet. For a moment there is silence. Thor stands over the crater, breathing heavy, lightning dancing wildly. Yield, Thor says, voice low. Laughter echoes from below. Frieza rises slowly from the smoke, aura flaring golden. Oh my, he chuckles. You really are divine. Then his smile sharpens. Which means breaking you will be delicious. Frieza explodes forward, striking Thor with a barrage too fast to track. Fists, knees, tail, all landing in rapid succession. Thor's armor dents, sparks flying as each blow lands with surgical brutality. Thor is launched skyward. Frieza follows instantly. They clash high above the clouds, lightning and golden energy tearing the sky apart. Thor hammers Frieza downward with a thunder-charged strike, but Frieza counters mid-fall, firing a beam that detonates against Thor's chest. Thor crashes back toward Earth. Goku intercepts him, catching Thor mid-air and setting him down gently. You okay? Goku asks. Thor nods, forcing himself upright. He is relentless. Vegeta reappears beside them, blood at the corner of his mouth, eyes blazing. Good. Frieza floats above them, arms crossed, aura flaring brighter than before. You see? Frieza says, voice carrying across the battlefield. This universe already had gods. He gestures toward Beerus' distant presence. But you, he looks back at Thor, you are an intruder. Thor rises fully now, lightning stabilizing, eyes glowing faintly blue. Then I will earn my place, he says. He raises Mjolnir skyward. The clouds spiral inward. Thunder roars not chaotically, but rhythmically, like a war drum. Lightning converges into Thor's body, compressing, refining. Goku's eyes widen. That feels different, Vegeta smirks. He's sharpening it. Thor steps forward, each movement deliberate, power condensed rather than explosive. Frieza narrows his eyes. Interesting, he says. Show me. They charge simultaneously. The collision splits the sky. Energy erupts outward in a perfect sphere, flattening everything for miles. Mountains are shaved down to bedrock. The atmosphere screams under the strain. At the center, Thor and Frieza lock together, hammer against forearm, lightning against gold. Neither yields, which watches intently. Fascinating. Thor is learning during combat. Beerus grins. Good. That's how you survive. Frieza snarls, pushing harder. You adapt too quickly. Thor meets his gaze, unflinching. I am a god of storms, he says. And storms grow stronger the longer they rage. The clash intensifies, power escalating dangerously close to planetary limits. And somewhere deep in Frieza's eyes, for the first time, there is doubt. The air shimmers with raw energy as Thor and Frieza hover above the shattered plateau. Lightning and golden aura twist violently around them, yet neither yields. Every strike Thor delivers is met with Frieza's deadly precision, every counterattack from the tyrant testing the god's endurance. Goku and Vegeta hover a short distance away, keeping a vigilant eye on the battle. Even they sense the danger. This is no longer training, no longer a display of skill. This is war, god against tyrant, and the scales of the universe tremble beneath their conflict. Thor plants Mjolnir into the air, summoning a massive bolt of lightning that arcs upward into the heavens. The clouds respond immediately, swirling and compressing like a living storm. Thor channels every fiber of his being into the strike, every thought, every heartbeat, every ounce of divine will. Frieza narrows his eyes. A god who commands storms? Impressive. But storms can be contained. With a flick of his hand, Frieza disperses the lightning into scattered bursts that rain down around Thor. But Thor anticipated this. He spins Mjolnir, creating a shield of lightning around him that absorbs and redirects the attacks. The surrounding energy erupts outward, sending shock waves across the mountains. Trees explode from the ground, rocks vaporize midair, and the atmosphere trembles as if bowing to the clash of power above. Thor launches himself forward, hammer spinning with deadly precision. He strikes Frieza directly, lightning enveloping the tyrant in a blinding flash. Frieza is slammed backward, tearing through the clouds, and lands violently on the surface, creating a crater that glows from residual energy. But Frieza rises instantly, grin twisted. You think a mere god can overpower me? His aura bursts, spikes of gold erupting like blades. You are strong. But I am perfection. The ground beneath them quakes as Frieza charges. Every motion of his body is amplified by sheer mastery of his power. Thor braces, spinning Mjolnir above him, lightning compressing inward, focused and controlled. The two collide with a force that sends shockwaves tearing across continents. Mountains crumble, oceans surge. The air itself seems to scream in protest. Thor feels the full weight of Frieza's assault. The precision, the malice, the cold calculation. This is a tyrant who has destroyed worlds for sport, who has refined his power through centuries of conquest. Thor counters every blow, each movement choreographed with lightning-guided accuracy, yet the pressure threatens to overwhelm even him. Goku and Vegeta watch from above, energy flaring as they assess the battlefield. Thor's holding his own, barely, Goku mutters. But Frieza's something else entirely. Vegeta's jaw tightens. He's tough. But Thor has something Frieza doesn't. Pure discipline and godly endurance. Thor senses this too. With a deep breath, he channels lightning inward, compressing it into his core rather than projecting outward. The storm obeys him perfectly, forming a radiant halo of energy around his body. Every strike he makes now carries precision and control. Every movement is a symphony of raw power and strategic intent. Frieza pauses, noticing the subtle change. What, is this? Thor's voice resonates across the battlefield. This is the culmination of training, of adaptation, of understanding your adversary before striking. With a sudden motion, Thor hurls Mjolnir with blinding speed. The hammer arcs in impossible trajectories, striking Frieza multiple times in a rapid succession. Each impact explodes with lightning, forcing Frieza to retreat. But the tyrant does not falter. Instead, Frieza's aura erupts into brilliant gold, expanding violently. He moves at speeds Thor struggles to track, landing a series of devastating blows. Thor is thrown into the air, tumbling end over end. The impact with the ground sends a shockwave that fractures the plateau beneath him, dust and debris rising like a storm. Thor rolls to his feet, adjusting his stance. Lightning surges along his arms, now fully synchronized with his movements. He leaps into the air, meeting Frieza mid-flight. Their clash generates an explosion that lights the horizon like a second sun. Goku and Vegeta zoom forward, adding their power to the battle. Goku releases a torrent of ki, blasting Frieza from one angle, while Vegeta strikes from another. Frieza narrowly avoids the coordinated attack, his own energy slicing through the combined force. Thor seizes the opening. He spins Mjolnir, channeling every ounce of his refined lightning into one devastating strike. The hammer slams directly into Frieza's chest, lightning erupting like a controlled supernova. Frieza is thrown backward, crashing into the mountains with a deafening roar. The ground shatters beneath the impact, steam rising as rocks melt from residual energy. The air smells of ozone and scorched earth. Frieza struggles to rise, golden aura flickering as he wipes blood from the corner of his mouth. "Clever," he snarls, "but I am far from defeated." Thor lands gracefully, lightning flowing calmly around him. "Nor shall I falter." Frieza suddenly begins to transform, his golden aura exploding into full brilliance. Every muscle flexes, energy radiating outward like a living star. The planet trembles under his sheer power. Even Thor feels the pressure, a weight unlike anything he has experienced. "Now you will see true perfection," Frieza hisses, energy crackling violently. Thor grips Mjolnir tightly. Lightning coils around the hammer, merging with the energy from his own body. "Then I shall meet perfection with my storm." The two charge once more, colliding mid-air with a force that distorts the atmosphere. Lightning and golden energy intertwine, exploding outward in a blinding flash. The planet itself shakes as shock waves ripple through the mountains, oceans, and atmosphere. Goku and Vegeta hover back, awe and tension etched on their faces. This is insane," Goku shouts. Vegeta grits his teeth. "Don't look away. This is how legends are made." Thor's aura burns steadily, perfectly balanced, each strike guided by will and strategy. Frieza strikes with raw aggression, but Thor counters with calm precision. They clash repeatedly, a symphony of thunder and light, each movement echoing across the horizon. Frieza realizes he has underestimated the Asgardian god. Every attack he launches is anticipated. Every strike he lands is met with controlled retaliation. Thor's power is not just raw, it is honed, adaptive, and perfectly synchronized with the storm itself. For the first time, Frieza falters, a flicker of doubt crossing his eyes. Thor sees it and strikes. Lightning erupts from Mjolnir in a controlled spiral, striking Frieza with precision. The tyrant is hurled backward, landing hard. The crater beneath him glows faintly from the residual energy. Frieza slowly rises, shaking his head, glaring at Thor. "You are a god unlike any I've faced," he hisses. "This is intolerable." Thor steps forward, cape fluttering, lightning settling into calm arcs. "Then learn humility, for even gods must respect life." Frieza pauses, scanning the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta ready, with Beerus observing. His pride bristles, his control tightens. Finally, he floats backward, aura flickering. "This is not over," Frieza says coldly. "I will return. And when I do, this universe will pay." With a sudden burst, Frieza teleports upward, disappearing into space with his fleet. The shockwave from his departure rattles the plateau, leaving deep fissures in the ground. Thor lowers Mjolnir, lightning fading. The sky slowly clears, though the clouds remain tinged with faint blue arcs, remnants of his storm. Goku lands beside Thor, grinning despite the destruction. "Wow, that was amazing!" Oh. Vegeta hovers, arms crossed, smirking faintly. "He's gone, for now." but we'll be ready. Thor surveys the battlefield, the scale of destruction etched into the landscape. This universe is resilient, he says softly, and its defenders worthy. His floats down, staff tapping lightly. Your combat mastery has grown significantly, Thor. You have learned to wield not only power, but control, and that is what makes a god truly dangerous. Beerus hovers lazily, tail swishing. Not bad for a newcomer. You survived, and you impressed me. Thor looks toward the horizon, lightning flickering faintly around his form. The battle has ended, but the war has only begun. The planet trembles beneath them, a reminder that peace is fragile. The sky clears slightly, but distant stars hint at the looming threat of Frieza's return. For the Dragon Ball universe is no longer strange. It is a battlefield, a crucible, and a home for those who dare to rise to its challenges. And as the heroes regroup, the storm in Thor's heart has only grown stronger. The aftermath of Frieza's retreat is immediate and profound. The plateau lies in ruins, jagged craters and scorched earth marking the battlefield. Clouds hang low, illuminated faintly by lingering arcs of lightning from Thor's storm. The air hums with residual ki and divine energy, a tangible reminder of the clash that had nearly torn the planet apart. Thor stands at the center, Mjolnir planted firmly. Crackling in measured bursts. His armor is battered but intact, his expression calm yet resolute. For the first time, he feels the full integration of the lessons he has learned in this universe. Ki, divine power, precision, and patience. The storm within him no longer rages uncontrollably. It is alive, intelligent, and obedient. Goku lands beside him, still brimming with excitement, aura flickering faintly as he releases the last of his energy. That was insane. You weren't just throwing lightning, you were controlling it. Like it was part of you. Thor nods, a small smile breaking his solemn demeanor. A storm must be understood before it can be wielded. Today I learned control is as vital as strength. Vegeta hovers nearby, arms crossed, but eyes softening slightly in acknowledgement. You got endurance. I'll give you that. And your timing, not bad. He grunts, glancing at Goku. But don't think this makes you equal to the Prince of Science. Thor chuckles softly. Perhaps not. Yet. His floats gracefully down, staff tapping against the fractured earth. Impressive, Thor. You faced Frieza, a tyrant who has crushed countless worlds, and you held your own. More than that, you adapted mid-combat. That is what makes a warrior exceptional. Not raw power, but understanding and evolution. Beerus stretches lazily, tail swishing. I was skeptical, but you've earned your place. For now. He glances at Thor with a faint smirk. Just remember, this universe is full of surprises, not all of them friendly. Thor inclines his head respectfully. I have no illusions. I am aware this is but the beginning. The distant horizon shimmers with residual energy. The remnants of Frieza's departure still twisting through the sky like malevolent ghosts. Even now the planet reacts, tremors echoing across distant mountain ranges. Thor feels it, a subtle pressure at the back of his mind. The warning of unfinished business. Goku and Vegeta exchange a look. Goku's grin returns, though tempered with seriousness. He's coming back. You can feel it, right? Vegeta nods. Of course. He never leaves without a reason. And next time, he won't hold back. Thor gazes at the clouds above, lightning flickering softly across the sky. Then we must be prepared. not only for his return, but for the consequences of this battle. Even a single clash of such magnitude can ripple across worlds. Whis floats closer, staff glowing faintly. Indeed. Thor, your mastery of lightning and integration with Ki is remarkable. But the universe is vast. There are forces that will take notice of your power, forces that do not tolerate interference. Thor grips Mjolnir, eyes narrowing. I have faced gods and monsters in Asgard. I will not flinch from any threat, no matter its scale. Beerus smirks, tail flicking. Bold words. Let's see if you can back them up when the real test comes. The sun begins to rise, piercing the haze of lingering energy and illuminating the destruction with pale gold light. It casts long shadows over the battlefield, highlighting the scars left by the confrontation. Jagged mountains cleaved in half, scorched forests, and craters glowing faintly with residual energy. Thor steps forward, surveying the damage. Each crater, each splintered mountain, each flash of residual lightning is a testament, not only to Frieza's power, but to the ferocity of the confrontation. And yet, the planet remains intact, its defenders resilient. Goku hovers beside him, eyes wide with awe. You did it? All of you? You stopped him? Thor inclines his head. We held him back, but stopping him forever, that is another matter entirely. Vegeta smirks. Then we prepare. That's all we can do. In the distance, small fires smolder where the battle had torn the land. Thor kneels briefly, Mjolnir planted into the ground, lightning coiling softly around the hammer as he channels residual energy to stabilize the terrain. Even in victory, his mind is practical, aware of the responsibility that comes with immense power. Whis floats higher, observing. Thor, this is your lesson. Power without foresight is fleeting. Today you have combined force, control, and strategy. Tomorrow you must anticipate the ripple effects of this universe. Frieza will return, and not alone. Other threats, drawn by the energy you wielded today, may follow. Thor rises, eyes glowing faintly blue as he looks toward the distant horizon. Then we shall meet them, and we shall endure, for the sake of this world, and all worlds it touches. Goku grins, fist pumping. Yeah, bring it on! Vegeta folds his arms, aura flickering faintly. Don't get overconfident, Kakarot. But this god may just be the ally we need. Thor nods solemnly, lightning settling into a steady, controlled glow around him. He raises Mjolnir toward the sky, summoning a final, concentrated flash of lightning that disperses harmlessly across the plateau, sealing the battlefield in calm brilliance. Beerus hovers lazily, tail swishing. That storm was impressive. But remember, Thor, the universe is bigger than you think. Bigger than all of you. Keep your wits about you. Thor meets his gaze steadily. I am not naive. I have faced storms before. I know their power, and I know how to endure them. Whis smiles softly, staff tapping against the ground. Good. Now rest and recover. The universe does not forgive weakness, but it rewards those who prepare wisely. As the heroes regroup, the sky clears further. The sun climbs higher, casting light over the fractured landscape, a reminder of the intensity of the battle and the resilience of those who fought to protect this world. In the distance, a faint glimmer of Frieza's fleet retreats into space, disappearing beyond the planet's atmosphere. His aura lingers faintly, a silent warning that this confrontation is far from over. Thor stands tall, cape fluttering, lightning settling into calm arcs. This battle ends, for now, but the war, the tests, and the storms, they have only just begun. Goku and Vegeta nod in agreement, understanding the gravity of what has just occurred. And high above the Earth, the stars shimmer faintly, aware that the storm god has entered this universe. and that the consequences of his presence will ripple across galaxies. Thor turns his gaze upward, Mjolnir in hand, ready to face whatever comes next. The Dragon Ball universe has tested him, and he has emerged stronger, more disciplined, and prepared. The confrontation is over. The enemy retreats. The stage is set for the next conflict, larger, deadlier, and more cosmic in scale. For Thor, Goku, Vegeta, and even the watchers from afar, one thing is clear. The universe will never be the same again. The sky over Earth trembles once more, though this time the cause is not immediately visible. Thor hovers above the shattered plateau, Mjolnir in hand, eyes scanning the horizon. The air hums faintly with residual lightning energy, but beneath it lies something more subtle, an undercurrent of power unlike any the planet has known. Goku hovers nearby, aura flaring slightly. Something's off. I can feel it. Vegeta crosses his arms, brow furrowed. It's not just Frieza. Whoever or whatever is coming, it's massive. High above the planet, distant stars flare unnaturally. Across the galaxy, energy readings spike on a scale that dwarfs even Frieza's golden form. Whis floats beside Beerus, observing silently, staff glowing faintly. This is no ordinary threat, Whis remarks. The imbalance caused by Frieza's attack and the subsequent clash with Thor has attracted attention. Entities that feed on conflict, power, and chaos. Beerus raises an eyebrow, tail flicking. Let them come. The more, the merrier. Thor's eyes narrow. Then we prepare. I sense worlds in peril, not just this one. If these forces are drawn here, their destruction will ripple across the cosmos. Goku grins, excitement mixing with seriousness. Sounds like fun. Let's see what they got. Vegeta smirks, but his eyes are hard. This isn't a game, Kakarot. Thor isn't just strong. He's a storm god now. And that kind of power draws enemies who don't show mercy. The first wave arrives with little warning. Not a fleet this time, but a massive convergence of energy signatures, each one colossal, far larger than any single fighter Goku or Vegeta has faced. The sky fractures under the strain, clouds spinning violently, lightning responding instinctively to Thor's presence. Thor clenches Mjolnir. Prepare yourselves. This is no ordinary confrontation. The enemy materializes. Dozens of colossal beings descend from space, each radiating energy so dense that the planet below groans under the weight. Some resemble dragons, scaled and immense. Others are humanoid but bristling with spiked armor and pulsating auras. Each radiates malice and power beyond comprehension. Goku's eyes widen. Whoa, these guys are huge. Vegeta grits his teeth. Numbers aren't the problem. Their power. This is insane. Thor steps forward, lightning coiling calmly around Mjolnir. Focus, warriors. These creatures do not simply fight. They annihilate. Precision, control, and unity will be our shield. The first enemy lunges, a dragon-like behemoth, wings unfurling with destructive force. Its roar shakes the atmosphere, sending shockwaves across continents. It dives toward Earth, energy trailing like a comet's tail. Thor raises Mjolnir, lightning surging outward in a controlled explosion. The air screams as the bolt collides with the creature, halting its descent midair. Lightning wraps around the dragon like a chain, stabilizing rather than shattering its form, demonstrating Thor's mastery of controlled destructive energy. Goku rockets forward, Kamehameha forming in his hands. I'll handle the rest of the wave. Vegeta follows, aura flaring like a blade. I'll cut down anyone who dares get close. Thor's storm guides their attacks. His lightning pulses in rhythm with their movements, coordinating their strikes. The dragon falters under the combined assault, energy and thunder striking with precision rather than chaotic force. Whis floats above, observing. Remarkable. Thor's integration with Goku and Vegeta's ki creates a force multiplier effect. Individually, they are strong. Together, they can challenge even cosmic-level threats. Beerus watches, eyes narrowing. Don't get cocky. Even this combined strength has limits. The second wave descends, towering humanoid warriors with energy fields that distort reality around them. Each step shakes the ground. Every punch threatens tectonic plates. Every scream sends ripples through the atmosphere. Thor steps between Goku and Vegeta, Mjolnir raised. Lightning arcs outward, forming a protective barrier around the plateau. The energy fields of the approaching enemies clash with Thor's storm, creating sparks that light the sky like a second sun. The first humanoid strikes, fists moving faster than sight. Thor meets him with Mjolnir, lightning flaring as hammer collides with fist. The force reverberates across the plateau, but Thor remains grounded, weathering the impact. Goku and Vegeta dive into the fray, their ki synchronized with Thor's storm. Together, their attacks become a symphony of destruction. Lightning-guided punches, Kai-infused strikes, and rapid maneuvering that keeps the enemies off balance. Despite the coordination, the enemies adapt. They move with precision, countering even the combined assault. Some creatures emit energy waves that fracture the air itself. Others manipulate gravity around Thor and the Saiyans, forcing them to adjust their trajectory mid-flight. Thor grips Mjolnir tightly. They are organized, not chaotic. We must respond in kind. He channels lightning inward, refining it into concentrated arcs that leap toward the enemies, striking multiple targets simultaneously. The lightning wraps around their energy, destabilizing shields and scattering formations. Goku grins, firing a rapid Kamehameha barrage, while Vegeta slices through attackers with brutal precision. The enemies falter momentarily, energy flaring violently as they adapt. A massive roar splits the sky. The leader of the invaders descends, towering, armored, with energy radiating like a black star. It lands directly on the battlefield, cracking the plateau with its weight. Thor steps forward. This one leads them. Focus your attacks on him. I will strike when the moment is right. Goku and Vegeta Nalkai energy building. The battle is far from over, but for the first time, Thor feels the true magnitude of his integration into this universe. He is no longer merely a visitor. He is a force, a storm god who can guide allies, counter overwhelming power, and stand against enemies that would shatter worlds. The stage is set. The universe itself trembles as the heroes brace for a battle that will reshape planets, star systems, and the very balance of power across galaxies. The leader of the invading forces hovers above the plateau, energy radiating like a collapsing star. Its aura distorts the surrounding space, twisting the clouds and bending light in unnatural patterns. The sheer presence presses down on Thor, Goku, and Vegeta, yet they stand firm, unified, against an overwhelming threat. Thor grips Mjolnir tighter, lightning coiling around the hammer in preparation. This one commands the others, he states, voice calm but resolute. Strike with precision. Do not allow them to coordinate against us. Goku nods, aura flaring brightly. Got it? Let's split their focus. Keep them off balance. Vegeta smirks, energy spiking sharply. Let's show them what happens when mortals fight gods. The first wave of attackers responds instantly, moving to defend their leader. Towering humanoids launch forward, energy blasts streaking across the battlefield, tearing through rock and earth. Thor reacts immediately, swinging Mjolnir in wide arcs, lightning surging outward. Every strike is perfectly timed, intercepting multiple enemies at once while maintaining control over his own power. Goku rockets forward, launching a barrage of ki blasts at a cluster of attackers. Vegeta tears through another group with rapid, precise strikes, his movements synchronized with Goku's, creating a relentless pincer effect. The leader watches, analyzing each movement. Impressive coordination, it hisses. But it will not be enough. With a flick of its hand, energy pulses radiate outward, distorting gravity and atmosphere. The attacks of Thor, Goku, and Vegeta are momentarily slowed as the battlefield becomes a chaotic storm of environmental hazards. Mountains crumble, rivers boil, and the air itself screams with raw energy. Thor braces, grounding himself as lightning flares inwards. His storm adapts instantly, weaving through the turbulence and providing a protective corridor for Goku and Vegeta. Each of his strikes is now more than just a fence. It becomes a guide, a stabilizing force amidst the chaos. "Thor!" Goku shouts, dodging a massive energy spike. "Your lightning. It's holding everything together." Thor nods. "Focus your attacks through the storm. Concentrate your ki. Strike where they are weakest." Vegeta glances at Thor, expression softening slightly in respect. Not bad, for a god who just arrived in this universe. Together they form a coordinated assault. Thor's lightning flows around them like a conductor's baton, guiding Goku's Kamehamehas and Vegeta's rapid strikes with precision. Energy beams intersect with enemy defenses, tearing through shields and scattering formations. The invading leader snarls, frustration evident for the first time. It lunges forward, moving faster than the eye can track. Its fists collide with meeting energy like lightning striking steel. Each blow shakes the air, sending shock waves that ripple across the plateau. Thor counters, releasing lightning and spiraling arcs, striking both the leader and its surrounding forces simultaneously. The controlled storm amplifies the Saiyan's attacks, forcing the enemy to retreat slightly. Goku grins. "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Vegeta smirks, aura blazing. "Keep pressing. Don't give them room to regroup." The leader roars and slams his fist into the ground, sending a wave of energy that fractures the plateau further. Thor leaps into the air, Mjolnir spinning around him, lightning wrapping like a living shield. The storm absorbs and redirects the energy, preventing catastrophic damage while simultaneously countering with precision strikes. One of the smaller invaders attempts to flank Thor, but a single spin of Mjolnir sends it hurtling into a mountainside, leaving a crater in its wake. Another charge from the front is intercepted by Goku's rapid Kamehameha barrage, while Vegeta slices through an incoming wave with blinding speed. The battlefield becomes a whirlwind of lightning, kai, and raw energy. Clouds crack with thunder, rocks explode, and the air vibrates with a power so immense it seems to stretch reality itself. The invading leader hovers above, aura flaring violently. "You are persistent," it snarls. But persistence alone will not save you. It gathers energy into a massive sphere swirling violently, distorting space-time around it. "I will end this world, and all who stand upon it, in a single strike." Thor steps forward, lightning surging in tandem with his heartbeat. "Then you shall meet the storm." Mjolnir launches into the air, spinning like a celestial cyclone. Lightning arcs outward, weaving through the enemy's energy sphere. Thor channels every ounce of divine power and ki, focusing it into a single, concentrated strike. Goku and Vegeta synchronize their attacks, unleashing a torrent of ki-infused energy directly into the sphere. The combined assault hits simultaneously with Thor's lightning, striking the enemy from multiple angles. The impact is cataclysmic. The energy sphere shatters violently, sending shock waves that ripple through the atmosphere and the surrounding terrain. The invading leader is thrown backward, screaming as energy tears across its body, scattering smaller attackers in the process. Thor lands gracefully, lightning settling into a calm, controlled glow around Mjolnir. The storm is not over, he declares. It has only begun. Goku and Vegeta regroup beside him, panting but ready. "That was close," Goku shouts. Vegeta glares toward the enemy. They're tough, but not invincible. The invaders recover, rising once more. Their leader glares at Thor, eyes burning with fury. "You, cannot defeat us all." Thor meets its gaze steadily. "I am not here to simply fight. I am here to protect this universe and will endure whatever comes to stop me." Lightning coils around Mjolnir, energy pulsing outward, stabilizing the battlefield and guiding the Saiyan's next coordinated strike. Whis floats above, observing. Thor has become not just a warrior, but a linchpin. His mastery of divine lightning and Kai integration is allowing him to lead the others effectively. This will be crucial in the coming escalation. Beerus smirks. About time. Let's see how far he can push before the real storm arrives. The invading leader snarls and gathers a new wave of energy, larger, more concentrated, threatening to overwhelm them all. Thor steps forward, unwavering. "Then let it come. The storm is ready." The battle escalates further, each strike shaking continents, each clash threatening the very balance of the universe. Thor, Goku, and Vegeta move as one, a symphony of Ki, lightning and godly might, standing as the first line of defense against a threat that it could consume worlds. The universe trembles, and the storm has only just begun. The invading leader roars, aura flaring violently, energy twisting the sky into a tapestry of chaos. Every movement sends shock waves across the plateau, tearing apart mountains and rivers. Smaller invaders follow, coordinated with terrifying precision. Their numbers seem endless, a wave of destruction designed to crush all resistance. Thor stands firm at the center, lightning coiling around Mjolnir in controlled spirals. His eyes glow faintly blue, aura humming with raw energy. "We must focus," he says, voice cutting through the chaos. "Their strength lies in coordination. Break their formation, and we weaken them all." Goku nods, excitement tempered with focus. "Got it! Let's split them up!" Vegeta's aura blazes violently. "I'll handle the front line. Kakarot, back me up." Thor raises Mjolnir, lightning dancing in precise arcs, forming a barrier that repels incoming attacks. Each strike of his hammer sends controlled arcs of energy across the battlefield, targeting multiple enemies simultaneously. Thunder rips across the sky, not as chaos, but as a guiding force for the Saiyan. The smaller invaders attempt to flank Thor, but the storm anticipates their movements. Lightning lashes out, striking before they can reach him. The arcs wrap around attackers, immobilizing them briefly, then direct them into the path of Goku's rapid Kamehamehas and Vegeta's precise energy slashes. One massive humanoid warrior charges from the side, fists glowing with concentrated energy. Thor counters with Mjolnir, lightning sparking at the point of impact. The blow shatters the ground beneath them, sending a shockwave across the plateau. Thor rolls, redirecting the energy through the storm and into the surrounding enemy, destabilizing their formation. The invading leader descends, landing with enough to crater the plateau. Its aura pulses like a star about to collapse, gravity bending around it. Energy flares outward, disrupting Thor's storm momentarily. Smaller invaders surge forward, taking advantage of the disruption. Thor steps forward, lightning coiling around Mjolnir. He channels the storm inward, refining it into controlled, high-velocity arcs. Goku, Vegeta, focus through the lightning. Goku grins, aura blazing. Got it! He unleashes a flurry of rapid Kamehamehas, each beam guided by Thor's lightning, hitting multiple enemies simultaneously. Vegeta slashes through advancing invaders, ki-infused strikes amplified by the storm's energy. This is coordination at its finest. The invading leader snarls. You adapt! Too quickly! It gathers a massive sphere of energy above its hand, pulsing violently. Then I will crush you with the full force of perfection. Thor's eyes narrow. Lightning spirals around Mjolnir, forming a vortex that absorbs and redirects the ambient energy. Not today, he declares. He hurls Mjolnir at the sphere, the strike guided with perfect precision. The energy sphere shatters violently, sending fragments of power scattering through the air. The leader recoils, staggering from the strike. Its aura flickers, briefly but noticeably. Thor senses the weakness and pushes forward. Now together! Goku and Vegeta surge ahead, energy converging with Thor's lightning. Goku's rapid ki blasts tear through smaller invaders, while Vegeta cuts a path toward the leader. Thor releases a concentrated storm from Mjolnir, arcs of lightning striking the enemy in precise, punishing bursts. The impact is immense. The leader is hurled backward, crashing into the fractured terrain, while smaller invaders scatter in disarray. Thor lands, lightning settling into calm arcs around Mjolnir. His storm has not only defended, but dominated the battlefield, guiding the Saiyan's attacks and breaking enemy coordination. Goku laughs, hovering beside Thor. Whoa, that was amazing! Your lightning, it's like it's alive! Thor nods, solemn. It responds to will, Goku. And it protects those who fight alongside me. Vegeta smirks, aura still blazing. Not bad. You may yet earn my respect fully. The invading leader rises, its aura flaring violently once more. It is clear it is holding back, assessing Thor's true power. You are no ordinary god, but this will not save you. It gathers energy into a massive sphere, larger and more unstable than before. The air screams around it, and gravity bends violently. Thor senses the danger. This one intends to destroy the plateau, and us with it. We must act carefully. Goku and Vegeta nod, forming a tight formation with Thor at the center. Thor's storm flares outward, arcs of lightning intertwining with the Saiyan's aura, forming a protective lattice. Every strike, every movement is perfectly synchronized. The energy sphere detonates in a massive explosion, but Thor's storm channels it outward. The blast is redirected, dispersing harmlessly while the Saiyans strike simultaneously. Goku's Kamehamehas tear through smaller attackers. Vegeta's slashes cut open energy shields, and Thor's lightning arcs strike the leader directly, destabilizing its energy flow. For the first time, the leader falters visibly, aura flickering under the coordinated assault. Thor steps forward, Mjolnir spinning. The storm does not relent. Lightning lashes out with unprecedented speed, guided with precision, striking the leader from multiple angles. Goku and Vegeta add everything they have, combining Saiyan energy with Thor's divine storm. The leader is thrown backward violently, crashing into the fractured mountainside. Even the smaller invaders hesitate, seeing their leader overwhelmed. Thor lowers Mjolnir, aura settling into calm arcs. The battlefield is scorched, shattered yet intact. The storm has protected the plateau while routing the enemy forces. Thor glances at Goku and Vegeta. We have gained the advantage, but they will recover. Be ready. Goku grins, aura flickering. Bring it on. I'm ready for round two. Vegeta smirks, though the seriousness in his eyes betrays his concern. This is far from over. High above, Whis observes, staff tapping lightly. Thor's integration with the Saiyans has turned the tide. But the leader's true power remains unknown. The universe itself may tremble before the next wave. Beerus smirks lazily, tail flicking. This is going to get interesting. Thor grips Mjolnir tightly, lightning coiling around him. Then we prepare. The storm is ready, and so are we. Whatever comes next, we will endure. The universe quivers at the promise of the next clash. The stage set for a battle that could reshape worlds, galaxies, and the cosmic balance itself. The invaders recover quickly, their leader hovering above the battlefield, aura blazing like a collapsing supernova. The smaller warriors surge in perfect coordination, their movements no longer chaotic, but terrifyingly disciplined. Every strike, every wave of energy threatens to overwhelm even Thor, Goku, and Vegeta. Thor raises Mjolnir, lightning flaring in controlled spirals, weaving through the storm and guiding his allies' attacks. Do not falter. Their strength lies in precision. Strike as one. Goku grins, aura blazing with exhilaration. All right, let's finish this. Vegeta tightens his grip, energy crackling. Finally, a fight worthy of our full power. The invading leader clenches its fists, concentrating energy into a massive sphere that pulses with gravity-warping force. This, ends now, it hisses, releasing the sphere toward the battlefield. The energy warps the air, tearing through clouds, mountains, and rivers in its path. Thor steps forward, Mjolnir spinning like a celestial cyclone. Lightning outward, intertwining with the Saiyan's aura, forming a lattice of protection. The sphere collides with the storm, and the result is explosive. The energy disperses in a controlled eruption, redirected harmlessly around the plateau while simultaneously destabilizing the invaders' formation. Goku rockets forward, Kamehamehas firing with precise coordination. Vegeta slashes through the enemy ranks, each strike amplified by Thor's storm-guided energy. The combined assault strikes the leader directly, forcing it to reel backward. Thor hovers above the battlefield, eyes glowing faintly blue. Lightning spirals inward. Compressed, focused beam of pure divine energy. He hurls Mjolnir with lethal precision, striking the leader's energy core. The blow detonates violently, shaking the plateau and sending shockwaves across the sky. The leader screams, aura flickering violently. Smaller invaders scatter in disarray, their cohesion shattered. Thor lands gracefully, lightning settling into calm, controlled arcs around Mjolnir. It is not enough to merely strike with power, Thor declares. One must strike with understanding, precision, and unity. Goku hovers beside him, panting but exhilarated. You've got a point. Your lightning, it's like it's alive, guiding us, protecting us, and hitting them all at once. Vegeta smirks, aura still blazing. Not bad. For a newcomer, you may yet earn my full respect. The invading leader snarls, gathering a final surge of energy. Its aura flares beyond comprehension, warping reality around it. You, dare to challenge perfection. I will end this universe. Thor steps forward, lightning coiling around Mjolnir in intricate patterns. Then witness the storm of a god who defends life, not destroys it. Mjolnir launches into the air, spinning like a celestial cyclone. Lightning arcs outward, wrapping around the enemy's massive energy field, destabilizing it. Thor channels every ounce of divine power into a final, decisive strike, fusing his energy with Goku and Vegeta's ki. The leader's sphere erupts violently as the combined attack strikes. Lightning and ki converge, tearing through the energy core and striking every vulnerable point simultaneously. The impact is cataclysmic. Shock waves radiate across the planet, fracturing mountains, igniting oceans, and tearing the air apart. The invading leader screams, body writhing as energy tears across it, scattering smaller invaders in the process. Thor hovers above, Mjolnir spinning, aura blazing like a storm incarnate. The storm does not relent. Goku and Vegeta charge forward, adding their full power to Thor's assault. Kamehamehas collide with ki-infused strikes, amplified by Thor's divine storm. The invaders' formations crumble, their cohesion destroyed. Even the leader falters, aura flickering violently as it is thrown backward into the fractured mountainside. For the first time, doubt crosses the leader's eyes. Thor senses it immediately, pushing the storm forward, guiding Goku and Vegeta in a perfect symphony of attack. Lightning arcs strike with surgical precision. Key beams tear through defenses, and the battlefield is dominated by controlled chaos orchestrated by the god of storms. The smaller invaders retreat, scattering in confusion. The leader rises weakly, aura flickering, clearly overwhelmed for the first time. Thor hovers above, Mjolnir spinning, lightning crackling in controlled arcs. "You are stronger than I imagined," the leader hisses, voice trembling. "This cannot be, Thor's gaze is steady, unwavering. Strength without purpose is meaningless. Power is to protect, to endure, and to prevail against those who threaten life. The leader, realizing defeat is inevitable, teleports away with a final surge of energy, retreating into space along with its remaining forces. The battlefield is left in ruins, mountains shattered, rivers boiling, and the air still crackling with residual energy. Thor lands, Mjolnir planted firmly, lightning settling into calm arcs. Goku and Vegeta regroup beside him, panting but victorious. Whis floats down, staff tapping lightly. Remarkable. Thor's mastery of divine lightning and integration with Saiyan Ki turned the tide. The leader's retreat is a testament to the effectiveness of combined strategy, power, and control. Beerus smirks lazily. Impressive. He held his own against cosmic-level forces, and even coordinated with the Saiyans. Not bad at all. Thor looks to the horizon, lightning coiling faintly. The battle is won, for now, but their retreat is only temporary. Forces of this magnitude never vanish entirely. We must remain vigilant. Goku grins, aura flickering faintly. Yeah, but today, we actually won. Vegeta smirks, arms crossed, aura fading. Victory is ours, but don't think this is the end. There's always the next wave. The sun rises over the fractured plateau, illuminating the battlefield. Lightning arcs faintly, settling into a calm glow, a sign of Thor's controlled storm. The planet breathes, scarred but intact. Thor raises Mjolnir skyward, cape fluttering. The storm has protected this world, but the universe itself has been shaken, and the consequences will ripple across galaxies. Was observed staff tapping. Indeed, this battle demonstrated not only power, but the importance of unity and strategy. Thor has truly integrated into this universe. But remember, the most dangerous threats are yet to come. Beerus stretches lazily. Let's hope they come soon. I want to see just how far this god can push before the real challenge arrives. Thor's eyes narrow, lightning flickering faintly. I am ready. Whatever comes, I will endure. I will protect this universe, and I will ensure that life survives. The stage is set. The universe itself quivers, aware that a storm god now walks among mortals. A hero who can guide, protect, and dominate against cosmic threats. And far beyond the horizon, unseen enemies stir, sensing the clash of power and preparing for the ultimate confrontation. The storm has passed, but the war is only beginning. The battlefield lay silent. Mountains, rivers, and forests bore the scars of the universe-shaking conflict, but life persisted. The air, still thick with residual energy, crackled faintly as Thor hovered above the plateau, Mjolnir in hand. Lightning spiraled gently around him, no longer wild and destructive, but calm and controlled, a reflection of the storm god's mastery over both power and purpose. Goku floated nearby, grin plastered across his face, though dust and scratches marked his form. "Whoa! Thor, that was insane! You really are something else!" Thor lowered Mjolnir, surveying the damage. "The battle is won, Goku, but the consequences ripple far beyond this world. Even now, traces of Frieza's influence linger, and other forces have surely taken notice." Vegeta hovered with arms crossed, tail swishing. I suppose we won. For now. But don't expect the universe to stay quiet for long. Someone or something will take advantage of the chaos." Thor nodded solemnly. "I understand. Even gods must remain vigilant. But today, we ensured that life survives. And that is the duty I came to fulfill." The plateau quivered beneath them as residual energy waves passed through the terrain. Thor lifted Mjolnir, channeling lightning into the fissures, stabilizing the ground. Rocks reformed slightly, rivers calmed, and the faint hum of life returned. Even in victory, Thor's responsibility was tangible: to heal, to protect, and to restore balance where chaos had reigned. Goku floated closer, awe in his eyes. "You didn't just fight. You controlled the storm. It was like the lightning knew exactly what to do, helping us hit every target." Thor's eyes softened slightly, a rare smile breaking his otherwise solemn demeanor. "Power without guidance is chaos. A storm, like any force, must serve purpose, not destruction. Today we fought not for glory, but for survival, and together we prevailed." Vegeta's smirk faded into a small nod of respect. "I'll admit, that storm of yours was impressive. Coordinating with mortals, most gods can't even comprehend the synergy you've achieved." Thor's gaze turned toward the horizon, where faint wisps of Frieza's fleet had once been. "The enemies retreat, but they are far from gone. The universe watches now, and some will see our victory as a challenge to be met with aggression. Yet we have set a precedent. This world, these warriors, are not to be taken lightly." High above, Whis and Beerus observed silently. Whis's staff tapped lightly against the ground, reflecting the measured calm after the storm. "Thor, your intervention has changed the balance of power in this universe. Not only did you repel a devastating threat, but you also demonstrated integration of divine mortal techniques. This is unprecedented." Beerus yawned lazily, tail flicking. "Not bad. I expected chaos. What I got was precision. The mortal survived, and the storm god proved he's not to be trifled with." Thor nodded, turning his attention to Goku and Vegeta. "You have fought with valor. Together we've ensured that life continues to flourish, and that the balance of this universe is preserved." Goku's grin widened. "Yeah, but Thor, you're leaving, right? I mean, you came here from another world. You don't belong in ours." Thor looked toward the distant skies, faint traces of lightning still crackling around him. "I came to this universe as a traveler, not as its master. My place is not among mortals. Yet my duty compels me to act when life is threatened. I have learned much and shared much, but my path must continue elsewhere. There are worlds yet to protect, storms yet to calm. Vegeta crossed his arms, gaze steady. You're leaving just when things start to get interesting? Typical God. Thor's lips curved slightly. The storms of this world will continue with your guardianship. I have faith that you and your allies can withstand the challenges to come. My presence was temporary, but the lesson endures. Strength, wisdom, and unity are the shields of life. Goku floated higher, eyes sparkling with excitement and curiosity. But Thor, will we ever see you again? Thor's eyes softened. Perhaps. The universe is vast, and paths cross in ways both seen and unseen. If our destinies align, I will return. Until then, continue to protect what you hold dear and do so with courage. The sky above shimmered faintly, a reflection of Thor's energy dispersing across the horizon. The storm's final remnants twisted into calm arcs, dissipating gently into the atmosphere. Birds cautiously returned, rivers flowed once more, and the faint signs of life began to flourish anew. Wes floated closer, staff tapping lightly. Thor, your intervention has consequences that will echo across multiple realms. The balance you restored here may inspire other entities, some benevolent, some malevolent, to react. Your presence has altered the trajectory of this universe irrevocably. Thor nodded gravely. I am aware, Whis. Yet in every storm there is purpose. Even as challenges arise, those who act with wisdom and resolve will prevail. I trust that this universe is now stronger than when I arrived. Beerus let out a soft chuckle. That may be true. But remember, strength is always tested. Thor, you've shown us how far determination and divine power can go. Just don't make this universe too soft, or I might have to intervene. Thor's gaze softened. Fear not, God of destruction. I leave guardians capable of enduring the trials ahead. Their courage and resolve will see them through. Goku looked down at the planet, then back at Thor. We'll train harder. We'll get stronger. So if you ever come back, we can fight side by side again. Thor smiled faintly. That is the spirit, Goku. Continue to strive, and the storm will always favor those who act with honor and courage. Vegeta's arms remained crossed, but his voice softened slightly. Don't expect to see us cowering when the next threat arrives, but I suppose I respect your methods, Thor. Farewell for now. Thor raised Mjolnir once more, lightning spiraling calmly around him. Farewell, warriors. May your strength continue to grow, and may your resolve never waver. The storm will watch over this world, even in my absence. The gods, the Saiyans, and Thor shared a silent moment of mutual respect. The battlefield, though scarred, reflected a universe saved through courage, strategy, and unity. And then, with a final flash of lightning, Thor ascended into the sky. Mjolnir spinning at his side, he departed from the Dragon Ball universe, leaving behind allies, lessons, and the lingering hope of a storm god who fought not for conquest, but for protection. The universe sighed in relief, unaware of the cosmic ripples Thor's presence had already set into motion. Life would continue, stronger and wiser, awaiting the day paths might cross again. As Thor hovered above the scarred plateau, he felt the subtle pulse of energy still lingering from the massive battle. It wasn't merely residual ki or lightning. It was a subtle echo of the cosmic forces stirred by the invading leader's assault. Even in retreat, their influence had left faint traces across the universe. Thor knew these ripples would attract attention, both benign and malevolent. Goku floated beside him, eyes wide with curiosity. So, the enemies aren't gone completely? Thor shook his head, lightning tracing faint patterns around Mjolnir. They are retreating, but such forces do not vanish. Their defeat here is temporary, Others will be drawn by the energy we unleashed, drawn by curiosity, ambition, or malice. This universe has been marked by the storm. Vegeta, arms crossed, scowled. So the threats never end, do they? Always one more challenge around the corner. Typical. Thor turned to face the Saiyans, expression calm yet grave. This is the nature of the cosmos. Power begets challenge. Strength invites scrutiny. The victories we achieve today are the foundation for trials tomorrow. But it is in preparation and unity that life endures. Goku grinned, fists clenching in excitement. Then we'll just keep getting stronger. If anything comes, we'll be ready, right, Vegeta? Vegeta smirked reluctantly, eyes narrowing. Don't get cocky, Kakarot, but yes, we will be ready. And Thor, your guidance, it's different. But it worked. Don't expect me to say that often. Thor's lips curved faintly in acknowledgement. I do not seek praise. I seek understanding of how mortals wield power and how divine forces can guide rather than dominate. Today I have learned much, as I hope you have as well. Far above, Whis observed with his usual serene composure, staff tapping softly. Thor, your presence has altered not only this planet, but the universe at large. The energy unleashed during the battle will echo across dimensions. Other entities, both benevolent and malevolent, may sense the surge. Some will come as allies, others as adversaries. The balance has shifted. Beerus smirked lazily, tail flicking. So the universe trembles, huh? Let them come. The mortals and their storm god have shown they can handle themselves. Mostly. Thor's gaze softened, resting on the horizon where the sun pierced the lingering clouds. Even as victories are achieved, vigilance is required. Protection is not a single act. It is enduring, even as I depart. And the assurance that those who fight with honor will endure. Goku floated closer, excitement mixing with concern. Thor, will you ever come back to check on us? Thor's eyes glinted faintly, lightning arcs swirling gently. Perhaps. Paths cross in unexpected ways. The universe is vast, and destinies intertwine. Should the need arise, or should our fates align, I will return. Until then, continue to protect, continue to train, and never underestimate the responsibility that comes with power. Vegeta's expression softened slightly. Just remember, if you return, don't expect me to be polite. Thor chuckled softly, a rare warmth in his expression. Politeness is secondary to survival, Vegeta. But I understand your spirit. It will serve you well in battles to come. The plateau below began to recover slowly. Thor directed faint arcs of lightning to stabilize the terrain, sealing fissures, cooling molten rock, and redirecting lingering energy. Rivers flowed once more, forests began to show signs of recovery, and wildlife cautiously returned. Even in departure, Thor's duty to protect extended beyond battle. It encompassed restoration, balance, and guidance. Whis floated closer. Thor, the universe will remember this intervention. Not merely the victory, but the method. Divine power used to coordinate, guide, and inspire mortals. This approach is rare, even among gods. Beerus smirked. Rare, maybe, but effective. I'll admit, seeing a god coordinate with mortals without chaos was impressive. Thor nodded, gaze lifting toward the sky. The purpose of power is not to dominate, but to preserve, to defend life, to endure trials, and to ensure that the storms that rage do not destroy what is worth protecting. That is the path I follow. Goku's aura flickered brightly, eyes wide. Then we'll remember that. We'll train harder, fight smarter, and make sure this universe is ready for whatever comes next. Vegeta smirked faintly. Just don't think we're relying on you. But your presence made a difference. I'll grant that. Thor's lips curved in acknowledgement. Your determination and courage are enough to protect this universe, provided you continue to grow. Remember this lesson. Strength without wisdom is fleeting, but combined, they endure even the fiercest storm. The faint traces of the invading leader's energy lingered in the atmosphere, distant and scattered across space. Thor's eyes narrowed, aware that this was not the final confrontation. Other forces drawn by these events would surely arrive, but for now, this world had survived, stronger than before, under the watchful guidance of a storm god who had walked among mortals. With a final sweep of Mjolnir, Thor summoned a faint bolt of lightning that arced across the horizon like a signature, a mark of protection and a promise of return if needed. The storm dissipated, leaving only calm, radiant energy in its wake. Goku floated beside him, eyes sparkling with excitement and hope. We'll never forget you, Thor. You're not just a god. You're our friend. Thor's expression softened. Friendship is a bond that transcends worlds. Even in absence, that bond endures. Protect this universe, and do so with courage, wisdom, and unity. Vegeta's arms remained crossed, but his voice carried an unusual sincerity. Farewell for now. The universe owes you a debt. Thor nodded, lightning spiraling faintly around Mjolnir. Then I leave it in capable hands. Farewell, warriors. May your courage and strength guide the future of this universe. With a final flash of lightning, Thor ascended into the sky, Mjolnir spinning at his side. The Saiyans watched as the storm god departed, leaving behind lessons, inspiration, and the lingering promise that he would return should the universe ever require it. The plateau below, though scarred, stood as a testament to their combined strength. If though tentative, began to flourish once more. The universe itself seemed to breathe a quiet sigh of relief, aware that a powerful ally had walked among mortals and left a mark that would endure across galaxies. Thor rose higher into the sky, Mjolnir spinning gracefully at his side. Lightning traced his path, leaving faint arcs that shimmered across the horizon. A visual signature of his passage, a reminder of the storm that had defended Earth. The Saiyans watched silently, the wind ruffling their hair, the calm after the chaos settling into the plateau. Goku's grin softened into quiet contemplation. He's gone, but it feels like he's still here. Guiding us somehow. Vegeta's arms remained crossed, yet his eyes tracked the fading figure with uncharacteristic intensity. Don't let sentiment cloud your judgment, Kakarot, but he did more than I expected. Thor's voice carried faintly, though distant. Even as I depart, the lessons endure. Strength, unity, and wisdom. Remember them. The Saiyans remained silent for a moment, reflecting on the battle and Thor's words. The plateau bore scars, yet life was returning. Birds cautiously took to the sky. Rivers flowed once more, and the forest began to rustle with the faint stirrings of wildlife. The universe, though tested, remained resilient. High above, the faint energy signatures left by the retreating invaders shimmered across space. Thor's senses detected them immediately. Traces of Frieza's influence, combined with the ripples of the cosmic waves they had repelled. Though defeated for now, these forces were unlikely to remain dormant. Thor's departure would not mean the end of threats, only a pause in their momentum. Even in retreat, Thor muttered quietly to himself, their presence lingers. This universe is stronger now, but vigilance is eternal. As he ascended beyond the stratosphere, stars shimmered with subtle tremors, reactions to the recent battles. The cosmic balance had been disturbed, however temporarily, and other entities, both benevolent and malevolent, would feel the echoes of the storm. Thor adjusted his trajectory, focusing on the currents of energy that linked worlds, guiding him back toward the realm of Asgard. Below, Goku and Vegeta began to descend toward the plateau, returning to survey the aftermath. The grin returned, though tempered by reflection. Well, that was the craziest fight ever. But Thor, he showed us something. Fighting together, planning together, thinking beyond raw power, that's the real difference. Vegeta nodded, smirking faintly. Don't think I'm sentimental, but yes. Coordination with purpose. Even a god can teach mortals a lesson. Thor's energy signature lingered in the atmosphere like a guiding presence. His final words echoed faintly. Strength is fleeting without wisdom. Power is meaningless without purpose. Protect what you cherish and endure the storms that follow. The Saiyans trained briefly, absorbing the lessons Thor had demonstrated. Key control, timing, and integration with allies became more refined, each movement influenced by the memory of the storm god's presence. Even Vegeta, who rarely admitted admiration, found his perspective subtly shifted. Meanwhile, far beyond Earth, Thor traversed the currents of cosmic energy, Mjolnir guiding him through the void. Each surge of lightning that left the hammer's edge acted as both propulsion and a subtle scan of the universe's stability. Worlds untouched by the recent battle shimmered faintly, as though acknowledging the intervention stabilizing under Thor's passing. In the distance, faint cosmic signatures stirred, new arrivals drawn by the echoes of the battle. Beings of immense power, curious or predatory, sensed the ripples left by Thor, Goku, Vegeta, and the retreating invaders. While none posed immediate danger, Thor's awareness remained alert. The universe was vast, and though this conflict had ended, it had left its mark. Thor paused briefly near a distant system, observing planets bathed in starlight. The energy there had shifted subtly due to the recent battles, and Thor could sense potential threats emerging even as life continued to flourish. He adjusted his path, ensuring that his presence would guide rather than dominate, each movement precise, calculated, and purposeful. Back on Earth, Goku and Vegeta surveyed the plateau one final time before descending fully. Trees had begun to sprout again, rivers flowed steadily, and the wildlife cautiously returned to the landscape. Though scars remained, they were signs of survival, of resilience, of life enduring despite cosmic chaos. Goku grinned, energy still radiating faintly around him. We did it, and Thor really made the difference. I hope we can fight together again someday. Vegeta smirked, voice low but sincere. Don't let it go to your head, Kakarot, but yes, Thor's presence. It will linger in our strategy. That storm god is something else entirely. As Thor approached the fringes of the galaxy, the light of distant stars reflected faintly off Mjolnir. His presence acted as a beacon, subtle but powerful, signaling that, though he had departed, he remained vigilant. Far-off entities in the cosmos could sense it, and the universe itself seemed to acknowledge his guidance. Thor's thoughts turned toward Asgard. The realms he had left behind were distant yet familiar. Though he had walked among mortals in this universe, his role as a god extended far beyond a single world. He would return to defend other realms, stabilize cosmic turbulence, and ensure that the balance of life persisted wherever chaos arose. Yet, even as he prepared to return to Asgard, a faint smile crossed his face. The Dragon Ball universe had taught him much about courage, determination, and the potential of mortals when guided with wisdom. These lessons would travel with him across dimensions, a reminder that even gods could learn from the universe they protected. Thor's energy signature flared one final time, a subtle arc of lightning tracing across the void before dissipating gently into the cosmos. It was a farewell, a promise, and a reminder. The storm watches, even in absence. The universe settled, quiet, yet vigilant. Earth healed, the Saiyans trained, and the lingering echoes of Thor's storm shaped the future subtly. Somewhere far on the own galaxy, forces stirred, curious and cautious. The battle may have ended, but its consequences would resonate for eons. And as Thor vanished into the cosmic currents, Mjolnir spinning steadily at his side, the stage was set for the next wave of adventures, challenges and confrontations. Echoes of a storm that had touched a left its indelible mark. Thor ascended beyond the edges of the galaxy, leaving the Dragon Ball universe behind. Mjolnir spun steadily at his side, the residual arcs of lightning fading gradually, yet a faint glow lingered in the void, marking his passage. Though distant, his presence remained an invisible shield, subtly stabilizing energy fluctuations in nearby star systems, a final act of protection before his complete departure. Back on Earth, the Saiyans watched the skies where the storm god had vanished. Goku floated in quiet contemplation, a faint glow of ki still lingering around him. He really did make a difference, more than I imagined, not just in fighting, but in how we think about power. Vegeta's arms were crossed, but his eyes reflected a rare sense of respect. Don't let it go to your head, Kakarot. But Thor, he's not like any god I've faced. He doesn't just rely on strength. He teaches, guides, and... He paused, choosing his words carefully. He inspires. Even if he leaves, the lessons stick. Goku grinned, eyes sparkling. Yeah, we'll get stronger. And next time we'll fight side by side again. Vegeta smirked faintly. Don't count on sentiment saving you in a fight. But yes, we'll be ready. The plateau, though scarred, had begun to heal. Rivers flowed steadily, forests slowly regenerated, and wildlife cautiously returned. Nature itself seemed to respond to Thor's lingering influence. The calm arcs of lightning he left behind subtly guiding growth and stability. Even Whis, floating above, noted the efficiency of Thor's final act. Remarkable, Whis murmured. Even in absence, Thor maintains balance. He does not merely intervene, he ensures continuity. His influence will subtly shape this universe for decades, perhaps centuries. Beerus stretched lazily, tail flicking. I admit that God has style. He fights, he guides, and he leaves without causing chaos in his wake. Not what I expected. Thor, traveling along cosmic currents back to Asgard, reflected on the events. This universe had tested him in ways unfamiliar. Mortals with immense potential, gods who watched with keen interest, and a foe whose influence stretched across galaxies. All of it had challenged his instincts. Yet he had not only survived, but had guided, inspired, and preserved life. The lessons were mutual. As he moved through the void, Thor sensed faint echoes of energy left behind by the retreating invaders. They were weak for now, but such forces never remained idle. Somewhere in distant sectors of space, they were gathering, recalibrating, and observing the Dragon Ball universe. Thor's departure did not end their threat. It only delayed it. Yet he did not dwell on fear or caution. Instead, he focused on the successes. Goku and Vegeta, now tempered by experience, ready to endure future trials. Earth, scarred but resilient, and the lingering stabilization of cosmic forces subtly influenced by his presence. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta continued to train on the plateau, incorporating Thor's lessons. Ki control became more precise, energy projection more calculated, and strategy more synchronized. Thor's guidance had changed the way they approached power, instilling patience and foresight alongside raw strength. Goku laughed as he executed a sequence of Kamehamehas, each beam hitting multiple points with pinpoint accuracy. "Thor would be proud, or at least impressed," Vegeta smirked, slicing through energy projections with precise slashes. Don't get sentimental, Kakarot. But yes, coordination, timing. It's different now. Thor's presence changed us, whether we admit it or not. Far above was observed, staff tapping gently. The Saiyans' evolution is subtle, but significant. Thor's influence persists not in direct action, but in the methodology he imparted. He has left a mark that cannot easily be erased, shaping both technique and philosophy. Beerus yawned, stretching. Hopefully it keeps them busy for a while. The universe needs strong defenders, even if they think they can rely on gods like Thor. As Thor neared Asgard, the familiar glow of the realm greeted him. The Bifrost shimmered faintly, resonating with the energy traces Thor carried from the Dragon Ball universe. His return was not merely physical. It carried lessons, wisdom, and echoes of battles that had tested both god and mortal alike. Thor stepped onto Asgard's golden halls, Mjolnir humming faintly. The halls were familiar, yet his mind remained partially on the universe he had just departed. The mortals there had shown potential, courage, and resilience. They were not just warriors. They were partners in defense, a lesson he would carry into future battles. High above, Odin's presence resonated subtly. "Thor," the Allfather's voice echoed in thought, "your journey has imparted much. You have acted wisely and with honor. The mortals you guided will endure, and you have grown through their trials as well." Thor nodded respectfully. "Father, they are capable of enduring. They have courage, resilience, and the potential to wield power responsibly. My guidance is but a spark. They are the storm that will follow." Mjolnir's glow pulsed gently as Thor walked through the halls, reflecting on the universes he had touched, the allies he had gained, and the lessons both mortal and divine that now intertwined with his own understanding. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Goku and Vegeta stood side by side on the plateau, the last rays of sunlight illuminating the battlefield. Goku's grin returned, eyes sparkling. "Thor's gone, but we'll carry his lessons forward. We'll keep training, keep protecting, and keep growing." Vegeta smirked faintly, arms crossed. Don't get sentimental, Kakarot, but yes, we'll endure. We'll be ready if the storm returns. The universe settled into a fragile calm. Planets healed, life flourished, and the echoes of Thor's presence persisted subtly across the cosmos. Though his journey in the Dragon Ball universe had concluded, his mark endured, shaping strategy, power, and philosophy for those who had fought beside him. And somewhere, far beyond known galaxies, the faint traces of the retreating invaders stirred once more, sensing the storm god's departure and the survivors' strengthened resolve. The stage was set for new challenges, new battles, and the enduring legacy of a god who had walked among mortals, taught them the value of guidance and unity, and left a promise that the storm would always watch. The sun set over the plateau, casting long shadows across the scarred yet healing land. Goku and Vegeta stood tall, reflecting silently. They had fought, endured, and learned. Thor's departure was not an end. It was a beginning, a call to vigilance, growth, and readiness. The universe, scarred but unbroken, breathed in quiet anticipation. Storms may come again, battles may rage, but the legacy of courage, strength, and unity endured, carried forward by mortals and gods alike. Thor's journey in this universe had ended, but the story of the storm and those who had fought alongside him was far from over.